Let me pull that back up. Let me switch multi-stream chat. Put this over here. Okay. Oh, the real eye, yeah. Now you can also collect Vanguard relics for standard eye, yeah. So, who's out now? Mesa, Hydroid. I need Hydroid. I need Ash. I need Frost, and I need Loki, bro. Dude. Okay. Okay. There's something to do later. Right now, I have the Trump live stream up. The thing live stream. I'm probably gonna... No, I can't do this all with your reel.
Please select destination.
Kakarot, then Scalda with melee, then containers, then abilities, then enemies with melee. So I'm gonna need to go Zaku at some point.
Please select destination.
I'll start the video while I'm waiting. But it's basically, I mean, I saw a little bit of it. I think I'm like 30 minutes behind. Yeah, I'm like 31 minutes, 32 minutes. Trump's like enacting like a new medical bill to allow marijuana for medical purposes, but let's see what he has to say. So Kakarot, melee, sonic melee, bat, containers, abilities. See what I actually have to do. That, and Maroon, and Clem's always a little stupid with these 10 minutes.
You don't have to keep up with the science jargon, you know.
It's pretty amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Got a set of crisis events lined up for you.
Oh, they're starting.
Make sure we get a gold star on each one.
Thank you very much.
Defense and assassination. Oh, this one sucks. Protect.
Well, it's a big day and many reasons, really for many reasons, and I have a very distinguished group of people behind me. Mostly medical people and brilliant people.
Just go sight.
They really know what they're doing. And I just want to thank them. They gave, truly gave their lives in terms of the time and all of the incredible work they've done over the years and arriving at the position they have now. Most respected people in the country. Today I'm pleased to announce that I will be signing an executive order to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 controlled substance with legitimate medical uses. We have people begging for me to do this, people that are in great pain. For decades, this action has been requested by American patients suffering from extreme pain, incurable diseases, aggressive cancers, seizure disorders, neurological problems, and more, including numerous veterans with service-related injuries and older Americans who live with chronic medical problems that severely degrade their quality of life. And it's so really, I mean, just, I can't tell you, I think I probably have received more phone calls on this, on doing what we're doing. I don't think I received any calls on the other side of it, but hopefully this reclassification, which by the way polls at 82%, will help many of those patients live a far better life. We're joined today by Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's doing a fantastic job, Administrator of Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz, the FDA Commissioner, Dr. Marty McCary, Director of the National
I don't
Institutes
care
of
about
Health,
stuff that he's talking about.
Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, and the director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, Dr. Nora Valkow, as well as Dr.
How are you the
Ilana
most
Braun
normal person
from
I
the
know?
Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Duke University's
Belmir
Dr.
and
David
Minerva, ready when you
Casseret,
are. Stand by for
the
temporal
National Commander of the
shenanigans.
American Legion, Dan Wiley, and my friend Howard Kessler. Howard, how are you feeling? I'm telling you, he looks better than he did 20 years ago. But I don't want to go through what you went through to get there. Right? But it looks like you're doing great. Proud of you. I want to emphasize that the order I am about to sign is not the legalization, or it doesn't legalize marijuana in any way, shape, or form, and in no way sanctions its use as a recreational drug. It has nothing to do with it. Just as the prescription painkillers may have legitimate uses, but can also do irreversible damage and never, if you look at some of the damage that can be caused, wreck lives, and if it's abused, it's never safe to use powerful controlled substances in recreational manners, and especially in this case, if you take a look, illegal and unregulated drugs, very, very bad thing. So I've always told my children, don't take drugs, no drinking, no smoking, and just stay away from drugs. They would look at me and they said, Dad, would you stop saying that? I would say it every time I looked at it practically.
Dude, I don't.
Young Americans are especially at risk, so unless a drug is recommended by a doctor
Dude, I feel like he fed his kids drugs, but that's just my opinion, bro.
for medical reasons, just don't do it. At the same time, the facts compel the federal government to recognize that marijuana can be legitimate in terms of medical applications when carefully administered in some cases. This may improve the use as a substitute for addictive and potentially lethal
wait, I gotta
opioid
start timing,
painkillers. They cause tremendous problems. This can do it in a much lesser way, can make people feel much better that are living through tremendous pain and problems. 40 states and multiple U.S. territories have already recognized the use of medical marijuana. This reclassification order will make it far easier to conduct marijuana-related medical research, allowing us to study benefits, potential dangers, and future treatments. It's gonna.
Dude, they have a like novelty set.
Sup,
We're
Drifter?
also asking Congress
Okay.
to reconsider its
Get your loadout ready, because
classification of
once you're locked in,
hemp-derived
I cannot
CBD
pull you out without the
to
whole run
ensure
going to
seniors
hell.
can access CBD products they have found beneficial for pain and other reasons. Some people are literally dying, and they're dying
ready
with
for this.
tremendous pain, and this can, in many cases, literally stop it. And they have their senses about them, as opposed to painkillers, which don't allow that. Don't allow them to die with
I don't know
dignity,
what you're
frankly.
doing. Dude, why?
I promise to be
Why
the
is connection
president
lost
of
2
common
times in a
sense,
row?
and that is exactly what we're
Get that
doing.
game
This is
to
really
this.
something having to do with common sense.
Bro, I think Trump's
And it's
messing up my
something
game,
having
bro.
to do with the fact that so many people that I
Hiya,
respect
freaky space friend.
ask me to do. People
Got a
that
set
are
of
having
crisis
problems,
events lined
big
up for you.
problems. They are having big problems
sure to
with
get it on
illness,
stock.
with cancer in particular. I now want to ask Dr. Oz to say a few words, followed by Dr. Braun,
This order is like,
Casseret,
so weird.
Dan
bro.
Wiley, and Dr. Valentine.
All your mentions is like
Sign the order as soon as they're complete, and we'll take some questions. Please, start.
Mr. President, thank you for always bravely pushing for common sense change, as you call it. So President Trump, Secretary Kennedy have been pushing for change. They're passionate in their desire to help the American
for a
people.
lot of
And they
change,
have
not
relentlessly pursued this agenda throughout this administration. This also includes a deep passion for research, gold standard research, as Secretary Kennedy also said. But there's another side to the president that often isn't reflected in media reports, and that's the deep passion he has for the people in his life. And he has called me frequently about the people who are calling him, as he alluded to, who are saying that they've got problems and they got relief from some of the solutions we're talking about today. Howard Kessler, who stands behind me here, is a mutual friend of ours, was an early caller of the president. Many others have reached out as well. And Howard's been a passionate advocate for avoiding narcotics, especially in seniors, particularly seniors suffering from cancer. And that's a population that is a very important one. And it's a sympathetic population that desires to try new ways, besides some of the conventional approaches that have been tested by pharmaceutical companies but have untoward side effects. At the beginning of the year,
all the way down.
one of the first things the president
Super
told
hard
me,
to hear.
he doesn't actually tell you, he demanded
Yeah,
from me,
actual, like,
that my agency, CMS,
Nobody demands from him. Nobody. You have to know him. Go ahead.
use the whole tools at his wherewithal to find a better way to help seniors. A passion for a population that has gotten left behind with these discussions. I promised that we would find an answer, even though it had not been done before, and today we are delivering on that promise. Today, our Innovation Center at CMS is announcing a new model and additional actions to give seniors access to cannabinoids. These are CBDs. They're non-addictive, which many are already using to manage pain. There's some clinical evidence that's showing that CBDs provide relief from common conditions that affect Americans, including cancer symptoms and chronic pain and a slew of other problems that affect
Dude, they just
disproportionately
found this out.
seniors and our veterans.
Oh, wow.
And 6 in 10 people who use the CBDs report that they improve their pain. I think all of those people are calling the president, judged on the number of calls in support of what we're doing today. And sometimes these decisions are difficult, and there's a reason this hasn't happened before, and there's a reason, Mr. President, that every president before you has whiffed on this issue. It's tough. And I know there's going to be a lot of discussion about it. That's why we're so passionate about making it clear that this patchwork that we're working within now, the laws and regulations, they're leaving patients and doctors without adequate guidance on the safeguards of how to use these products, even though they're still being used. At Medicare, we cover 68 million Americans, including people under the age of 65. And they did not have a way of providing these treatments until today. With the president's insistence, that's all changes. The Innovation Center models are going to allow millions of Americans on Medicare to become eligible to receive CBD as early as April of next year.
Dude,
and
whoever's
at no
messing with
charge,
the freaking boom bike,
if their
or
doctors
whatever,
recommend it. Thanks to the hard work of the entire CMS team, especially Abe Sutton and Gita Dio at the Innovation Center, the accountable care organizations in this country working in Medicare will be able to provide these products, again, at no cost to patients. Medicare Advantage insurers, and we've been calling them, are also agreeing to consider CBD to be used for the 34 million Americans that they cover. If you can hear my voice and you're over 65, you should pay attention to this executive order because it's going to touch your life. Again, this all becomes active after the first quarter of next year.
They're like, I don't
These
think they can
CBD
do
products
anything.
must first meet local and state quality and safety standards. They must come from legitimate sources. They must abide by other regulations of those states. With these boxes checked, patients can be eligible for up to $500 of hemp-derived products each year. This is the first government-led testing of quality and outcomes for patients across different conditions, and it delivers on the need for more data collection and research into hemp usage. CMS is going to collect data, that's our job, on the patients that are being given these products by their physicians. And in accordance with all the privacy and security regulations, we're going to analyze that data. We're going to make it publicly available for everybody to be able to analyze with us. If it shows promise, we will expand access to these products to even more conditions amongst Medicare and Medicaid beneficiaries. I want to thank not just the Secretary, but Marty McCary. We want a lot of companies who are doing this research that approach the FDA for formal approval. That is the right way to move forward. And Jay Bhattacharya, who's hiding in the back, he rarely hides, but Jay runs NIH, and he's agreed to support initiatives to study the data that we're collecting. Howard Kester, God bless you for being a pain in our sides. Mr. President, he's promised to stop calling you. But on this issue, we'll call you on other issues. And I thank you again from the bottom of my heart for taking difficult steps.
Thank you.
Mr. President, members of the Cabinet, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and for your leadership in rescheduling cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. This decision will accelerate scientific research and expand what responsibly
Dude, is it fucking like storming in DC right now?
I'm
or
a
some
cancer
shit?
psychiatrist and medical cannabis researcher at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Over the past decade,
make
federal
this a bit
investment in
smaller for
research
myself.
has helped transform cancer care. People are living longer than ever before. But cancer care is not only about treating the tumor, it's also about addressing the anxiety, the fear, the stress that can come with a diagnosis, symptoms that can interfere with treatment and make recovery much more difficult. Many medications we use for acute anxiety carry significant risks, particularly in the older adults. That's why we're studying specific natural compounds found in cannabis, including the non-addictive cannabidiol, to understand whether they can safely and effectively help manage anxiety during cancer treatment. Rescheduling allows us to ask these questions rigorously about dosing, about safety, and who may benefit most. This research reflects the best of federal investment, helping people not only live longer, but live better. Thank you, Mr. President, for supporting careful, science-based research
I don't
that
think
puts
President
patients
himself got
first.
much longer to live.
I'll add my vote of thanks, Mr. President. I never really thought this day would come. I met a patient about 20 years ago, a retired professor named Elizabeth, who came to my clinic. She was dying of pancreatic cancer. She asked me then whether cannabis might help her, and I said no, because that's what I learned at medical school. She reached into her briefcase, took out a 3-inch tall stack of articles, put them down on my desk, and said, "Really, doctor? You should read these. You might learn something." And I did read those articles, every single one, and found much more. And I did learn something. I learned that there actually is some medical benefit to cannabis that I had not anticipated, never heard about in medical school. Second, I learned that there was a lot we don't know. And third, I learned it's really, really, really difficult to do high-quality, randomized controlled trials of a substance that's federally illegal. This rescheduling has the potential to change all of that and to rewrite the way that we do research related to cannabis in the United States in 3 ways. First of all, it'll democratize the research process so that all academic institutions can participate in research, not just elite academic
It's gonna do damage.
Number 2,
Do I
it'll
lose my
give
charges
patients
for that?
and researchers access to highly refined, reliable sources of cannabis rather than relying on 1 or 2 sources around the country. And last but not least, it'll let us do the sorts of large-scale randomized controlled trials that we do in oncology and cardiology. Not dozens of patients, but hundreds or thousands of patients. That's how we learn, that's how we produce valuable
Wait,
knowledge
already
that's
ended,
useful
bro?
in guiding treatment decisions.
Dude, this shit
Mr.
was only
President,
40
without
minutes?
you, this never
Okay.
would have been possible. And my
Okay, this shit. Okay, I don't know what the fuck they're on about, bro. Legalization of cannabis would have been possible without Donald Trump. I don't know what they're fucking feeding him. Okay, they like home plated him like an easy like.
Make sure we get a gold star on each one.
Fucking. They handed him a silver platter where he could do no wrong with this actually. And they're acting like he's the fucking godfather who saved everyone. Like, my boy didn't do shit. Look at his fucking face, bro. He's shitting himself. He didn't do shit, bro. Like, everyone's in fucking disbelief of what this guy's saying because this guy he didn't fucking do shit, bro. Just sitting there like a fucking princess. But whatever. Let's keep going.
patients and I and all of our families are grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor, very much.
He's
Mr. President, I am Dan Wiley, National Commander of the American Legion, representing 1.5 million veterans. We are the biggest, largest veterans organization. We have 2.5 million members of our American Legion family. And I want to start by thanking you for your leadership on this issue. This issue is extremely important to the American Legion, and I want to thank you on behalf of the veterans who are going to benefit from potentially the research regarding this issue. I also want to thank you for your VA Secretary, Secretary Collins, and his work on difficult veterans issues with us this past year. The VA has worked with us on our Be the One mission, which is a mission to fight the epidemic of veteran suicide. Veterans are disproportionately affected by conditions such as PTSD,
And homelessness from the
TBI,
government.
depression, and chronic pain. And with this reclassification, it will allow research to be conducted with regard to cannabis. There is anecdotal evidence that cannabis benefits these conditions,
Dude, there's
and now we'll
been
have an
anecdotal
opportunity to see
evidence for many
if
years.
research does prove that it is
Okay.
effective. And if it is so, then it is effective. And if it is so, then it'll open up a whole
Many
new
years have had
method of
anecdotal
treatment for
evidence that
our
marijuana-
veterans with regard to this particular issue. And so,
I hate the
again,
fucking noises,
and so,
bro.
again, I just want to thank you for your leadership and thank you on behalf of the American
it's not even
Legion
raining in the
for this
courtroom.
executive order.
Thank you. Such great people
Thank you very much.
that have
President.
suffered and will suffer a lot less now.
You're right.
Just from what I hear.
At least that's what I hear. That's literally what he said, but
I'm
whatever.
Nora Volkov. I'm Director Electronics
Mr. Common Sense.
And for us, that rescheduling opens the door to actually be able to accelerate the rate at which we can do research.
If she wasn't a doctor standing before
and
her, you
research
would have
is
deported
crucial
her.
in order
You know,
for
or
us
shot
to,
her
for
dog and
example,
then deported her.
understand what may be and for whom the dangers of cannabis. Yes, cannabis can be addictive, and certainly people, adolescents and children may be the most vulnerable. But we cannot close our eyes to research and the opportunity that we are hearing from patients that for some of them, cannabis can solve their problem. And so what we need to do is do research, number one, to understand what are those conditions. Number two, in order to be able to optimally learn how to use it. And to understand, number three, who is at danger. And it is knowledge that will allow us to optimally take the benefits that may be behind cannabis, as research shows, but on the other hand, also enable us better to do prevention interventions to protect those that are most vulnerable. So thanks very much.
Great job. Thank you very much. Thank you, Doctor. Bobby, do you have something to say?
I'll just echo thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for your leadership and
No way, that's our
and finally getting to closure on this issue. This is a question, a scientific question, that has divided our country for many, many years. And there are valid claims on both sides. On one side, patients and physicians attest that cannabinoids and THC can have miraculous effects on chronic pain, on epilepsy, on PTSD, on chemotherapy-induced nausea. My friend Howard Kessler, without whom we wouldn't be here today, drove this change in the schedule. He did it because of his own experience in mitigating the impacts of chemotherapy. Is nothing to gain from this. He just saw something that worked for him, that worked for thousands of other Americans, and he wants to make it available to them. On the other side, there are valid claims about the negative impacts, about addiction, about psychosis, about adverse public health impacts, and impacts particularly on young people.
I want to drink so much
So the evidence on all of these is anecdotal and it's hypothetical because we have not been able to do scientific studies. There is no standardized dosing. And if you don't have standardized dosing, any study that you do is comparing apples to pears. And we don't know the difference between botanicals and synthetics, and all of these questions we're now going to be able to answer. 5 administrations have promised to act on this issue. The Biden administration promised to do this, and the proposal began during the Biden administration. It got mired down in the chaos and inertia and disorganization of it. And I want to thank President Trump, who made the promise during the 2024 election that he was going to come in and solve this issue, that he was going to take decisive action, and he has kept that promise today. And so thank you, President Trump, for your vision. And because of that, we will have answers very soon. This will finally allow us to study this issue and to answer these questions for the American people.
Thank you very much, Howard Kessler, a friend of mine, one of the most successful people in the country, came to see me on more than one occasion, actually. And he had some real difficulty about 3.5, 4 years ago. And he went through hell. And during his going through hell, he probably sampled everything you can sample when you're going through that. And he came to me and said, there's been nothing like this.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back. I have no idea what he's on
Here
about.
today drove this change in the schedule. He did it because of his own experience in mitigating the impacts of chemotherapy. There's nothing to gain from this. He just saw something that worked for him, that worked for thousands of other Americans, and he wants to make it available to them. On the other side, there are valid claims about the negative impacts, about addiction, about psychosis, about adverse public health impacts, and impacts particularly on young people. So the evidence on all of these is anecdotal and it's hypothetical because we have not been able to do scientific studies. There is no standardized dosing. And if you don't have standardized dosing, any study that you do is comparing apples to pears. And we don't know the difference between botanicals and synthetics. All of these questions we're now going to be able to answer. 5 administrations have promised to act on this issue. The Biden administration promised to do this, and the proposal began during the Biden administration.
Fucking boom mics.
It got mired down in the chaos and inertia and disorganization and I want to thank President Trump who made the promise during the 2024 election that he was going to come in and solve this issue, that he was going to take decisive action, and he has kept that promise today. And so thank you, President Trump, for your vision. And because of that, we will have answers very soon. This will finally allow us to study this issue and to answer these questions for the American people.
Thank you very much, Howard Kessler, a friend of mine, one of the most successful people in the country,
Nothing that's due to him,
came to see me on more than one occasion, actually. And he had some real difficulty about 3.5, 4 years ago. And he went through hell. And during his going through hell, he probably sampled everything you can sample when you're going through that hell. And he came to me and said, there's been nothing like this.
People probably just went to
We're
different
gonna have
fucking
to
states.
take a good, strong look at it, and that's what he asked me to do. And others have likewise said that, many others. You know, again, it's, I've never been inundated by so many people as I have about this particular reclassification. And I don't know that you have anything to say out. If you'd like, you could say whatever you like.
Want to help for people 65 and over and make a difference in their life. And we have machines and talent that could do it, not in 8-year clinical trials, but in a year. We can prove that may change the world in healthcare. So thank you, Mr. President.
And I'm far younger than 65, so this does not pertain to me. Thank you. I don't want it, okay? I'm not going to be taking it, but a lot of people do want it. A lot of people need it, and thank you, Howard, for really opening a lot of eyes. Okay, we'll sign it. We'll take some questions from the press. You can ask the doctor some questions, and it's an honor to do this.
Did they really end this up at 40 minutes? Huh?
Well, that's a good one.
All right, the questions are a little interesting, but they're still like
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Any questions?
Mr. President, a health-related question on your health care plan. You've said you want to make direct payments to Americans, but these Obamacare subsidies are expiring now in a matter of just a few days. More than 20 million Americans are now bracing for their premiums to skyrocket. Are you going to let this happen, or will you intervene?
Yeah, they will skyrocket because it was never any good. I'd like to see the money that is going to the insurance companies by the hundreds of billions of dollars. You know, their stocks are up 1,400%, 1,800%, and 1,624%. Their stocks are up through the roof.
my
over a fairly short
family
period of time.
is up $800
They're getting
million.
Vast amounts of money. I want that money to go to the people directly.
I want that
and
money
let
to go
the
to my
people
family
buy
directly.
Their own
My
healthcare.
family.
And they'll get much better health care than they get with the unaffordable
Your
care
healthcare is
activities.
gonna fucking suck, but my
As
family's
it's
gonna
known
be
by a lot of
wealthy.
people. It is virtually unaffordable for people. It's a bad thing. We can have a great thing. Let the money go directly to the people and let them buy their own health care.
This is an urgent problem, Mr. President. Is there anything you can do now, Mr. President?
This is going to be right now, as far as I'm concerned. Go ahead.
We just got data today. We have federal exchanges where people come shopping for the ACA. And the president hasn't heard this yet, but we've talked to the team. The percentage change from last year was down 2.7 to 2.8%. Not the massive numbers that have been predicted. And there's many possible reasons for this. But right now, Americans are signing up for these programs. despite all the things that have been going on. 2.8% is a tiny fraction of what many had claimed would happen, and I think it speaks to the fact the American people appreciate these ACA plans are already subsidized over 80%. So it's a good deal, even if you don't get the extra 15-20%.
It's a great solution to much better health care at a much lower cost. Yeah, please. Well, I'd like not to be able to do it. I'd like to get right into this, and I'd ask Oz this question in particular, but I'd like to see us get right into this. I don't know why we have to extend. This could be done rapidly if the Democrats could come along. We have a problem. The insurance companies own the Democrat Party. They own it.
What?
And the Democrats having a hard time. They give a lot of money to the Democrats. Very little money to Republicans, by the way. A lot of money to Democrats. And they're going to have to decide, do they want to do the right thing, or do they want to be beholden to...
The president wants to say he's not owned by Israel, but 18 billion, or 18 trillion actually says otherwise.
I agree with the president. We have some ideas.
I agree with the
Congress is
media.
working through some concepts.
18 trillion does seem like Israel.
The ACAs are not imploding based on the data we just received from the federal marketplace.
This can go very quickly, actually. Yes, please.
Can I ask you clarify something for me on the Federal Reserve? How many people are you interviewing for the Fed chairman, and what did you think of Chris Waller?
I think he's great. I mean, he's a man who's been there a long time, somebody that I was very involved with, sense of his career, and he's a fantastic man. I met him yesterday, again.
So how many people are you?
We're talking to 3 or 4. I think every one of them would be a good choice, honestly. We'll be making a decision pretty quick. She's fantastic. She's a fantastic person.
Some GOP lawmakers have written to you in recent days saying that this executive order to normalize drug use review. How would you respond to that?
You think about this particular today? Well, I think I'd let one of the doctors respond to it because they can do it a lot better than me. But I can only tell you that when you see polls of 82% of the people want this, when I have friends that are really, really sick and they've gone through, I guess you could say, unfortunately, I don't want to become too involved in it because I don't want it happening.
You could say I'm kind of a big baller in the White House.
Very smart people. This is one of the most successful people in the country and a very brilliant guy. And when they go through this horrible ordeal of cancer or other things, and they realize that this is something that makes them feel better without all of the side effects of some of the drugs where you're just totally knocked out and out of it. But I'd like to have one of the doctors maybe respond because you people do it better than anyone.
I'm happy to respond.
Yes.
I mean, and my answer is we have had cannabis scheduled for how long? And it hasn't protected neither the adolescents nor the adults. We have 20 million people in the United States with a cannabis use disorder. This is not legalizing it. It's making easier to do research so that we can use it when it is indicated and optimized.
That was the friend.
So it's also a big part of this is research. In other words, you'll now have a much larger sample and you'll be able to see if it's as good as many people say it is. I mean, people say it is beyond good, and you'll be able to find that out now.
On housing, you talked in your address last night about housing.
Yeah.
Are you still considering a national emergency over housing?
I'm looking at it.
What would that look like? What would that look like?
You know, there's two thoughts on housing. You have a lot of people have housing that because we have such a strong time and such a strong market there, houses are very valuable. It's a big part of their net worth, their house. I don't want to knock those numbers down because I want them to continue to have a big value for their house. At the same time, I want to make it possible for young people out there and other people to buy housing. In a way, they're at conflict. In other words, you create a lot of housing all of a sudden and it drives the housing prices down. So I want to take care of the people that have houses that have a value to the house that they never thought possible, that have sort of made them wealthy and happy, and especially in their later years.
Okay.
Got to be careful with that. I want to keep them up, at the same time, I want to make it possible for people to go buy houses. Daniel, please.
Mr. President, you announced the Warriors dividend last night in your primetime speech. Very patriotic, very generous. What was the rationale and the thought process? How did you come up with the idea? What made you want to give back to
Well,
the
1776 was easy to come up with because we were actually at 1775. You know, the number was 1775, and I said, wow, I think we could afford one more dollar. But they came up to me, it was, $1,775. So I said, well, let's add a dollar to it. I think we can find that. And very simple. We've had a military that, in my opinion, by other presidents, was not treated well. They're incredible. They're the finest people. They're protecting us. And because of tariffs, we're taking in billions and billions of dollars more than we ever have before. With no inflation, by the way. With no inflation. You saw the inflation numbers. They just came out today. What great timing. Practically no inflation. And yet we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars.
Okay.
And this is small potatoes by comparison, but it's a way of taking care of our warriors, our soldiers. And I appreciate that question, Daniel.
Yeah, and Carolyn
It was an easy one.
She just posted on X, your press secretary, that the board members of the Kennedy Center voted unanimously to rename it the Trump Kennedy Center. What is your reaction to that?
Well, I was honored by it. The board is a very distinguished board, most distinguished people in the country. And I was surprised by it. I was honored by it. You know, we're saving the building. We saved the building. The building was in such bad shape, both physically, financially, and every other way. And now it's very solid, very strong. We have something going on television, I guess on the 23rd December. I think it's going to get very big ratings, and the Kennedy Center is
Don't
really.
you say I failed that? Just so I can
really
get out of here, bro.
Back strongly. It's a very bad shape.
So what do you mean if like
very,
three
very
times?
bad shape physically.
It's just bad.
And we were also to get Congress to put up a lot of money and other people to put up a lot of money. We had a lot of donors come in for record-setting numbers, so we saved the Kennedy Center, and I was really. This was brought up by one of the very distinguished board members, and they voted on it. There's a lot of board members. And they voted unanimously.
If they want my favor, they got to donate $1 million.
Mr. President, will you be seeking any authorization from Congress for any land attacks on cartels in Venezuela?
For any what?
For any land attacks on drug cartels in Venezuela?
I wouldn't mind telling them, but it's not a big deal. I don't have to tell them.
Let me go back.
And we were also to get Congress to put up a lot of money and other people to put up a lot of money. We had a lot of donors come in for record-setting numbers, so we saved the Kennedy Center, and I was really, this was brought up by one of the very distinguished board members, and they voted on it, and there's a lot of board members, and they voted unanimously, so I was very honored by it. Thank you.
Mr. President, will you be seeking any authorization from Congress for any land attacks on cartels in Venezuela?
For any what?
For any land attacks on drug cartels in Venezuela?
I wouldn't mind telling them, but it's not a big deal. I don't have to tell them, it's been proven. But I wouldn't mind at all. I just hope they wouldn't leak it. You know people leak it. They are politicians and they leak like a sieve. But I'd have no problem doing that.
On that, Mr. President, Mr. President.
Yes, please.
Mr. President, there's a meeting this weekend on Ukraine in Florida. What are you hoping will come out of that?
Well, they're getting close to something, but I hope Ukraine moves quickly. I hope Ukraine moves quickly because Russia's there. And every time they take too much time, then Russia changes their mind. 27,000 soldiers were killed last month. Think of that. What do you think of that, doctors? 27,000. It's like a half a football stadium were killed in 1 month.
What do you think of that?
It's that way.
It's that way. Even though I said I'd break the bring peace about, and one day it's still like that. I can bring peace about. You think I'm a failure? Say I'm a failure. I dare you.
It's the worst since World War II. And you've heard me say I settled 8 wars.
Yeah.
Some going on for 35 years. One going on for 37. One going on for 32. And 8 wars. And I thought this would be an easier one. This is because of the animosity, the hatred. It's a little bit more difficult than we thought. But there's a chance we can get this done maybe soon. Remember that. 25 to 30,000 people being killed a month. Young people being killed a month. Steve, please. Before the end of the year, what do you think? Over the next couple of weeks. I mean, I don't know before the end of the year, but pretty soon. Say what?
North Carolina tomorrow night. What's your message going to be?
Well, it's not going to be that much different from what I did last night. I mean, we've had tremendous success. We're bringing prices down. We inherited a mess. And part of what we inherited was the worst inflation in 48 years. I say history, but we had the worst inflation. It drove prices up. And now we're bringing those prices down. But I'll be talking about that. I'll be talking about the fact that we secured the border where literally nobody can come into our country illegally anymore. They came in from prisons and mental institutions and drug dealers and a lot of bad people from all over the world. Venezuela emptied their prisons into our country. We had Tren de Aragua, which supposedly, the doctors don't know this.
Let's get rid of the Puerto Rican
president. The meanest gang of them all. Okay,
doctor?
You don't have to know about it. You got other problems. But they let a lot of bad people in here. And so I think I'll be talking about that. I think I'll be talking about the tremendous success we have by sending the National Guard into various cities. And D.C. is the ultimate example. People walk to work and they thank me all the time. People in the White House, they just walk to the White House from 10 blocks away. Before I came into office, they couldn't do that. They were getting badly hurt in many cases and beyond hurt, killed.
Most of them were fucking
we were losing people. We were losing, on average, a person a week. Can you believe it? More. And now we haven't lost anybody in a long time. I consider the two people that got so badly hurt, the National Guard, that's a different city. That was terrorism. That was terrorism. And probably terrorism, maybe terrorism, because they were unhappy with the tremendous success we've had. Because they don't want to see this country be successful. But Washington, D.C. now is a safe, beautiful city where the restaurants are booming, the town is booming. People walk to the restaurants with their wife or their children.
Bro, people do that regularly.
Have a good time. We were losing all the restaurants. We were losing our life in this. We were just the whole heritage of Washington, D.C. was down the drain, and we brought it back. And now everybody's thrilled to be here. It's the hottest. It's a part of the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've become, in 10 months, the hottest country anywhere in the world. And I say it all the time, we were a dead country explode 1.5 years ago.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he would like to see that. We haven't set it up for.
Dude, hottest country. We're literally about to fucking explode, bro. No prices have gone down. Jobs, layoffs, so many people, and fucking the job market's fucking, it's about to fucking implode on itself, bro. You're fucking, every single thing Trump's done been terrible, and then Trump's gonna die, and he's gonna give the fucking presidency to J.D. Vance, and then we're gonna be into real fucking danger, bro. Look at his face, bro. I wouldn't trust J.D. Vance's face, bro. I don't even think his wife trusts his face. They probably fucking AI filter J.D. Vance whenever he's around his wife. Just realize how butt ugly he is. No way, bro.
Scrubbers are prone to sport.
No way. Hottest country in 10. Okay. Let me ask you, how many people entered the U.S. illegally in the past? Yeah, I'll do 8 months. Let me go back to it real quick.
Baby's gurgling, new health scrubber bubbling up.
This shit's mad retarded, yo. This shit's mad retarded.
their flip parts are illegal. All right, how many people enter? How many people illegally cross the border? Illegal border crossings detected. I mean, 84%. Might be down, but there's people that get in, bro. Attempted illegal border crossing. Okay. Yeah, attempted. Dude, this is last year. Dude, they don't even have fucking numbers, bro. They're hiding everything. Southwest land border encounters. No. Enforcement encounters. January, February 2025. Well, shit, bro. They probably know how shit our country is. But do I trust these numbers? .gov, probably not. This actually kind of makes no sense, though. Unless they're, like, underreporting. Because, oh, well, yeah, this is 2024. But he could have faked it all the way here now. Here, wait. When did... I don't fucking remember. When did Trump take office? January 27th. It was on its way down way before. So it was on its way down, and then bro decided, I'ma just lie. Okay. Yeah, bro just said, I'ma just lie. That's the only thing. I mean, it has to be, bro. Because, like, what do you mean? It dropped 30, and then it dropped 50,000. Well, it drops. Okay, so it drops, like, in the beginning of the year. So, like, half. Which kind of makes sense. And then it's on a decline. But then even this, or it's 23. Trump president, what years? So yeah, 2017 to 2021. So this was Biden, bro. Kind of Biden, yeah. Wait. No. Wait, he wasn't here 2024. So yeah, Biden saw a little increase, but then he came back down with a little decrease. But this kind of makes sense though, because like, look, it goes up, and then the second year is like, okay, let's inverse the graph. But then this over here, like, I don't trust this, because like, what do you mean? Like, it stayed down here and then it didn't go up at all. There's no way that even fucking happened. And then it doesn't even say, like, okay, well, they're not gonna know how many illegals came in the U.S., but to say that no illegals have come through, you're dead wrong, bro. You're dead wrong. Law of force or law of order demographic by month. Officer of field operations. What is this? Oh. Okay, company U.S. Border Patrol. So they see a bunch of people. Okay. What if I put according to Trump? Zero legal release in the country. Are you gonna fact check it though? I mean, it was Biden who set it in motion though, but whatever. Oh, it's a hot fix as well. Okay. Okay, I don't trust these numbers, and also this is like people. Arrested could be potentially released by the agency. Like, okay, whatever.
In the past,
not Atriac.
Formally, but he'd like to see.
Did they cut it off?
We've had great success. Peace in the Middle East, aside from everything else.
Yeah, that's just fucking dumb and retarded, bro. Thank you. Oh shit, Bay Harbor Butcher. Here they go. Anyways, peace in the melodies, or peace in the Middle East, except for everything else, except for, you know, my 18 trillion. Wait. How much did the U.S. pay Israel? Ah. Against Hamas, huh? Ah. 2025, what was it? Was it November? Didn't pay a single lump sum, but rather a continued flow. Was going to propose 8 billion arms sale. Dude, where was the 18 million bill? Wait. 18 trillion to Israel, bro. On billions. Okay. Okay. This shit makes no sense, bro. 250 billion in military support since 1959, making Israel the largest cumulative recipient of U.S. foreign military aid ever. Why are we funding Israel? Under a long-term 38 billion. Yeah, okay, bro. 17.9 billion. What is it called? USA tracker. Oh, the National Debt Tracker. Oh, we're at 38 trillion and climbing. Okay. Oh wait. U.S. total debt 105 trillion. Okay, okay. 3,000 live stats in your pocket. Dude, it's actually so funny. Oh, there's a time machine, bro. World debt clocks. Bro. America #1, baby. Fuck Japan or fuck China, bro. Dude, look at these fucking idiots, bro. 1 billion or wait. No, I might be retarded. Wait, I might be retarded. Yeah, no, we're in billions, no? Oh no, that is trillions. For some reason I thought this was like a period. No, that's trillions, bro. Hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, you know. America #1! Holy shit, bro. Public debt to GDP ratio. Oh, down. Okay. But you know what? 342 million strong compared to 1.4 billion, and we're fucking #1. We're double their fucking debt. We should be fucking proud of ourselves, bro. We're like fucking what? Almost 1/5. Like 2/5 closer. In the middle of that. Somewhere. And we're fucking beating out China and their fucking national debt, bro. We should fucking congratulate ourselves. I ain't fucking joking, bro. Fucking India, bro. 1.4 billion people. Shit, bro. Alright, let me close out WARFRAME and open it for the update. You guys are excited. Pour one out for the old Poor Frost. The most divorced WARFRAME in the Origin system. Let me open it back up in a second. I just gotta do the quests. Yeah, bro. New America #1, bro. America #1. Why isn't Japan up here? Whatever. Dude, Germany's gonna crack, bro. Dude, all I can say is America #1, bro. We know how to rack up debt like it's nothing. Rack up debt like it's nothing. Anything else? Anything else? Most aid is for military financing, arms, and defense systems like Iron Dome. Security assistance. Oh, wait. This is what I was looking for.
In $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increase. I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage
and
increases,
I'm sending it all
growth,
to Israel.
factory openings, and far greater national security. Much of this success has been accomplished by tariffs. My favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully by other countries against us, but not anymore. Companies know that if they build in America, there are no tariffs, and that's why they're coming home to the USA in record numbers. They're building factories and plants at levels we have.
Dude, I fucking restarted, bro. Fuck off, bro. Okay. Okay. The job market showed mixed signals. The unemployment rate rose. Job growth was slow. Year to gain or date gains weakest since 2020. Okay. Wonder who was president back then. Federal jobs continued losses while the private sector drove growth. The private sector, definitely not the White House or the CIA where they, you know, laid off workers, or the IRS, you know. Federal jobs, yeah, employment rate decreased slightly. Oh, employment rate, yeah. Makes sense.
All right. Haven't seen AI, automobiles. We're doing what nobody thought was even possible, not even remotely possible. There has never, frankly, been anything like it. 1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And that's said by every single leader that I've spoken to over the last 5 months.
Okay, bruh. Dude, when I'm at the fucking lie your ass off fucking tournament and Donald Trump's there, bro, I'm fucking losing.
We now have peace in the Middle East. Yeah, he'll probably come to see me.
Peace in the Middle East. Huh. Even AI says there's no... Oh, Israel, Palestine. Okay.
In Florida.
Egyptians as well? Are they
I'd love to have him. El Sisi, he's a friend of mine. Yeah, I'd love to have him. Thank you very much, everybody.
That's all he had to say. Nah, where was the they don't have the national address? Yeah, there it is. Let's see what he's got to say.
America, 11 months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it. When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years, and some would say in the history of our country, which caused prices to be higher than ever before, making life unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans. This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability. Our border was open, and because of this, our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people, many who came from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They were drug dealers, gang members, and even 11,888 murderers, more than 50% of whom killed more than one person. This is what the Biden administration allowed to happen to our country, and it can never be allowed to happen again. We had men playing in women's sports, transgender for everybody, crime at record levels, law enforcement,
everybody, bro.
Words such as that just absolutely forbidden. We had the worst trade deals ever made, and our country was laughed at from all over the world. But they're not laughing anymore. Over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history. There has never been anything like it, and I think most would agree. I was elected in a landslide, winning the popular vote and all 7 swing states. and
Well, that
everything
election
else
was a rig, bro.
with a mandate to take on a sick and corrupt system that really just took the wealth from people and crushed the dreams of the American people. For the last 4 years, the United States was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens,
but this time,
career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists.
Hey, okay, before he goes on, yeah. We had people run by prisoners, the Holocaust, blah, blah, blah. But this time, we're under new management. We're under better management, okay? Israel is gonna help us, okay, guys? They're not the bad guys. Never been the bad guys. Benjamin Netanyahu? No, not a war criminal. A saint. What am I telling you? A saint, okay? This administration found out about the word affordability because the Democrats ruined it. Yes. And Israel is here to help us, okay? Longtime neighbors. Okay, peace in the Middle East without them, but longtime neighbors, Israel here to help us out, you know? It's, quite frankly, Israel, who are the good guys, and the Democrats, who are the enemy. Fuck those children. If your child wants to eat fucking food, they should, bottom themselves. Fucking hungry hippo. But, yeah. Don't feed the kids. They deserve to be with me and Margot Island. And, Jeffrey Epstein, I never heard of the guy, but we're in a bunch of photographs together, and yeah, everyone forgot about that. People are just so focused on this Jeffrey Beppe guy. I don't get it. Focus on me. I'm the king.
And above all, foreign nations, which took advantage of us at levels never seen before. They flooded your cities and towns with illegal aliens. They decimated your hard-earned savings. They indoctrinated your children with hate for America. They just released a level of violent felons that we had never seen to prey on innocent. They caused war.
Dude, he says this as he's pardoned literal felons and fucking, like, abusers of the fucking, government and fucking everything else, bro. Like, you can't... Okay, well, you can, bro, because no one's doing anything. It's fucking retarded. At least still having, like, a sitting president, but... You can't just, like, go up and just lie your ass off, bro. Like, there's no way. There's no way, bro. Honestly, bro. Dude, I know the fucking, what's it called? The assassination, prize for him. It's gotta be like that. More than 3 billion at this point. Look at that, bro.
War, they caused mayhem. They caused a horrible situation all over the globe. But now you have a president who fights for the law-abiding, hard-working people of our country, the ones who make this nation run, who make this nation work. And after just 1 year, we have achieved more than anyone could have imagined. Starting on day one, I took immediate action to stop the invasion of our southern border. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed into our country, a feat which everyone said was absolutely impossible.
Because it is.
Do you remember when Joe Biden said that he needed Congress to pass legislation to help close the border?
Because you do.
He was always blaming Congress and everyone else. As it turned out, we didn't need legislation. We just needed a new president. We inherited the worst border anywhere in the world, and we quickly turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. In other words, in a few short months, we went from worst to best. We're deporting criminals, restoring safety to our most dangerous cities. Just take a look at Washington, D.C. It's at levels of safety that we've never seen before. And they decimated the bloodthirsty foreign drug cartels. We did that all by ourselves with our people, and we're so proud of it because they were poisoning and destroying our population. Drugs brought in by ocean and by sea are now down 94%. We have broken the grip of sinister woke radicals in our schools and control over those schools is back now in the hands of our great and loving states where education belongs. After
Bro,
rebuilding
you're
the
cutting
United States
education
military in
on
my
the
first term, and with the addition we are adding right now, we have the most powerful military anywhere in the world,
we
and
don't.
it's not even close. I've
We don't.
restored American strength, settled 8 wars in 10 months, destroyed the Iran nuclear threat, and ended the war in Gaza, bringing for the first time in 3,000 years peace in
China
the Middle East,
literally
and secured
beats us
the
out like
release
5-1,
of the
bro.
hostages,
We are
both
not
living
fucking
and dead.
bigots.
Here at home, we're bringing our economy back from the brink of ruin. The last administration and
Bro,
their
you're
allies
bringing it
in
to the brink of
Congress
right
looted our treasury for trillions of dollars.
You're doing that right
driving up
now.
Prices and everything at levels never seen
Cash
before.
Patel's using the
I
private
am
jet to
bringing
visit his
those
fucking
high
girlfriend.
prices down and bringing them down
Fucking,
very
I forgot what
fast.
Pam Bondi's doing,
Let's
but, you
look
know,
at
they're
the
all
facts.
fucking doing dumb
Under
shit.
the Biden administration, car prices rose 22%, and in many states 30% or more.
Under you, everything's
Gasoline
rising.
rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now, under our leadership, they are all coming down and coming down fast. Democrat politicians also sent the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too. The price of a Thanksgiving turkey was down 33% compared to the Biden last year. The price of eggs is down 82% since March, and everything else is falling rapidly. And it's not done yet, but boy, are we making progress. Nobody can believe what's going on. Here are just some of the efforts that we have underway. You will see in your wallets and bank accounts in the new year. After years of record-setting falling incomes, our policies are boosting take-home pay at a historic pace. Under Biden, real wages plummeted by $3,000. Under Trump, the typical factory worker has seen a wage increase of $1,300. For construction workers, it's $1,800. For miners, we're bringing back clean, beautiful coal. It's $3,300.
Wow. Clean,
and
beautiful
for the first time
coal.
in years,
That's such a
wages
lie, bro.
are rising much faster than inflation.
There is no clean
Remember that.
or beautiful coal.
The wages, just look at it. Wages are going up much faster than inflation. How
they're
big
not.
is that? Very importantly, there are more people working today than at any time in American
That's
history.
a lie.
And 100% of all jobs created since I took office have been in the private sector. Think of that. 100% of all jobs have been in the private sector rather than government, which is the only way to make a country powerful and great. This historic trend will continue. Already, I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth, factory openings, and far greater national security.
Dude, every time he
Much
speaks,
of
he's
this
putting me to
success
sleep, bro.
has been
His eyes are
accomplished by
crazy.
tariffs. My favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully
favorite
by
word,
other countries
tariff.
against us,
Tariff.
but not anymore. Companies know that
ruined our
if they build
farmers.
in
I gave
America,
them
there
back
are no
money from our
tariffs.
tariffs,
And that's
so I
why they're
basically
coming
got it
home
less
to the
money.
USA in record numbers. They're building factories and plants at levels we haven't seen. AI, automobiles. We're doing what nobody thought was even possible, not
Yeah,
even
bubbles so
remotely
close to
possible.
bursting.
There has never, frankly, been anything like it. 1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally fail. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Bro,
and
we're
that's
gonna
said by
fail.
every
We're still
single
gonna
leader that
fail.
I've spoken to over the last 5 months.
We're still gonna fail.
Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history that were really accomplished through our great, big, beautiful bill, perhaps the most sweeping legislation ever passed in Congress. We wrapped 12 different bills up into one beautiful bill. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year, and next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time. Because of tariffs, along with the just passed One Big Beautiful Bill, Tonight, I am also proud to announce that more than 1,450,000, think of this, 1,450,000 military service members will receive a special we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas, a Warrior Dividend. In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way. Nobody understood that one until about 30 minutes ago. We made a lot more money than anybody thought because of tariffs, and the bill helped us along. Nobody deserves it more than our military, and I say congratulations to everybody. And by the way, we now have record enlistment in our military, and last year we had among the worst recruitment numbers in our military's history. What a difference a year makes. In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interests to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies in foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%.
He's retarded.
In other words, your drug costs will be plummeting downward, and I used the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the
600%. They fucking pay you, dumbass. They pay you! 100 is all of it! You retard! What are you talking about? What are you literally on about? 100% of any price means it's free. All of it got taken off. 600% is over free. They give you fucking money. They give you fucking money. Bloody motherfucker, they give you money. So there's no fucking way. Stay with me. You can bring down prices 600%. They're not gonna give you the fucking drugs for free, even though they're not gonna pay you to take the fucking drug. Okay, America is fucking greedy. What are you on about?
Cost of this giant dollar
It makes no sense.
They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago.
And also, I also heard like kind of what he says like next, because it's been clipped. But bro, fundamentally retarded, bro. Like, this is not the face of someone who's smart. This is the face of a retard. Okay, I'm sorry, but he's like, the retardation to say that is crazy.
There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called most favored nation, and no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, TrumpRx.gov.
Bro, it's fucking a scam, bro.
And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. I'm also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of money that should go directly to the people. The money should go to the people. That's you. So they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower cost. It will be far better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost, and you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, TrumpRx.gov. And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. I'm also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of money that should go directly to the people. The money should go to the people. That's you. So they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower cost. It will be far better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost, and you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again, I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price. The only losers will be insurance companies that have gotten rich, and the Democrat Party, which is totally controlled by those same insurance companies. They will not be happy, but that's okay with me because you, the people, are finally going to be getting great health care at a lower cost. Another major focus is the cost of energy. For years, the radical left Democrats exploited the green energy scam as an excuse to funnel many billions of dollars into their own massive slush funds as their energy restrictions drastically drove up prices, and they drove them up at record levels. Electricity costs surged 30 to 100% under Biden, and the typical family lost $5,000 to $10,000 in higher energy costs. Think of that, $5,000 to $10,000 you lost. On day one, I declared a national energy emergency. Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in much of the country. In some states, it, by the way, just hit $1.99 a gallon. And within the next 12 months, we will have opened 1,600 new electrical generating plants, a record, and it's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say.
You want to know why the numbers on gasoline are so low?
The cash was destroyed.
It's because in the Congress, Trump is actually allowing gasoline companies to do things that would have otherwise been illegal, but he made them legal as they destroy the earth and destroy other places around the U.S. But you know what? I will give him that. He did lower the price of gas by fucking everything else up. So yeah, you give and you take, but you mostly fucking take, and that's what you fucking get. Okay. So I don't know about this one. I don't know if this one's like a good one. He did lower the price of gas, yes, but he made everything worse by doing that. So say what you will. Say what you will.
Say by anybody, or certainly not very soon. Prices on electricity and everything else will fall dramatically. The Democrat inflation disaster, again, the worst in the history of our country, also robbed millions of Americans of home ownership and indeed the American dream. The yearly cost of a typical new mortgage increased by $15,000.
Whoa, wait. This motherfucker just said in his last fucking thing, I want people to keep the value of their homes. I don't want to really deprofit these motherfuckers. But there's also, like, here yesterday being like, it's actually the Democrats' fault that the houses are so high because they faked this fucking energy crisis. What the fuck are you on about, bro?
Under Democrat rule. In 11 months, we've already gotten that annual cost down by $3,000, and it's coming down a lot lower. Wait till you see. The numbers are going to be shocking, and I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve, someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot, and mortgage payments will be coming down even further. Early the new year, and you will see this, in the new year I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history.
Yeah, I'm gonna
a major
kill
factor
all
in
the
driving
fucking
up housing
people.
costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants. At the same time, illegal aliens stole American jobs and flooded emergency rooms, getting free health care and education paid for by you, the American taxpayer. They also increased the cost of law enforcement by numbers so high that they are not even to be mentioned. For the first time in 50 years, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home, leaving more housing and more jobs for Americans. In the year before my election, all net creation of jobs was going to foreign migrants. Since I took office, 100% of all net job creation has gone to American-born citizens, 100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation.
Dude,
look at Minnesota, where
he literally just talked about himself. He literally just fucking pointed himself out, bro. He literally just fucking talked about himself right there, bro. What are you fucking on about? He fucking Freudian slipped his fucking agenda. Like, that's the most obvious shit ever. I want to go back to it, but like, let me put this fucking effort on charging this shit. This shit is so mildly, or not mildly, bro. This shit is so fucking mind-numbing. My god, man.
How dare they blame us? We will not be their scapegoats.
Alright, let me go back like a fucking minute, bro.
American
he literally just talks about
citizens,
himself.
100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation. Look at Minnesota, where Somalians have taken over the economics of the state and have stolen billions and billions of dollars from Minnesota and indeed from the United States of America. And we're going to put an end to it. For so long as before my election, the vast majority of good and decent Americans were forced to watch as corrupt politicians plundered the halls of power, exploited our taxpayers, and pillaged every system that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day, not anymore. We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected, and our country is back, stronger than ever before. We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen. Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its law, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected again like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
Dude, knew when I just lie on stage for 18 minutes? What are you talking about, man? Let me cancel this. Alright, then I want to see what his last one was. Because, bro,
Time to come home.
these are all terrible. 6 out of 9. These are all fucking terrible, bro. Like, it's so easy to, like, just fucking hear his mistakes, bro. Dude, and he's doing these shits every fucking day. Look at this shit, bro. Okay. Hanukkah reception. Oh, is this the one where he says he's fucking Jewish, bro? No way. No way, bro.
United States, Donald J. Trump.
Well, thank you very much. Nice place. I guess you've mostly been here, but you like it a lot better with
it's
Trump
nice to see everyone in the moment.
than you like it with Biden.
Not a cell phone inside.
That I can tell you. That's because you're smart. Well, I'm thrilled to welcome so many good friends to the White House as we celebrate the third night of Hanukkah. Right? Third night. Time
What they do to his
flies.
fucking hair, bro?
Let me take
He's
a moment
balding.
to send the
He's
love
fucking
and prayers to
balding.
our entire nation, to the people of Australia, and especially all those affected by the horrific and anti-Semitic terrorist attack, and that's exactly what it is, anti-Semitic, that took place on a Hanukkah celebration in Sydney. What a terrible, terrible thing. We don't learn. We're joined in mourning all of those who were killed, and we're praying for the swift recovery of the wounded. Some are very horrifically wounded, as you probably know. All nations must stand together against the evil forces of radical Islamic terrorism, and we're doing that. Joining us tonight, our Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is doing a fantastic job. Representatives Paul Gosar, David Kutzoff, Claudia Tenney, Ronnie Jackson, he was my White House doctor. Ronnie was asked, who is the healthiest of all? Was it Barack Hussein Obama? Was it Sleepy Joe Biden?
Okay. You can't tell me Sleepy Joe and fucking, like... Okay, Donald Trump may not be fucking obese, but there's no way his body is built on muscle, okay? And then you're gonna tell me the doctor said Donald Trump. He probably said Donald Trump because he knows this guy has a fucking ego and probably chop his head off if he said another answer, bro. Just like, even looking at his frame, this guy's not healthy, bro. Look at the fucking... There's fat on his cheeks. They're popping out.
Or was it Donald Trump and he said Trump was by far the healthiest? He was the doctor for all three of us, and he said Trump was by far the healthiest. I love him. If he didn't say that, I would have never have talked to him again.
If he didn't say that...
Where is Ronnie? Is he here? Ronnie Jackson, what a great legend. Josh Gottheimer's here. Mr. Salt is here, Mike Lawler. He's the only guy could have gotten that for New York. Nobody else. He worked so hard on that. Will you please focus on the midterms, please? Do you mind? Okay. Because you can do it. Jared Moskowitz. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Jared. Max Miller is here. Great old Max.
Max James.
He was my music man in the White House. He knew music better than any human being. Craig Goldman. Thank you, Craig. And Randy Fine, new to Congress, but he's done a great job. He's been great. As well as the mayor of Boca Raton, Florida, Scott Singer. Thank you very much. Thank you, Scott. Good place. I love Boca. National Chairman of the Republican Jewish Committee, Norm Coleman. Thank you, Norm. Looking good, Norm. CEO of the Republican Jewish Coalition, Matt Brooks. He says Trump is the greatest president we've ever had, so I like him. I'll take Matt any day.
This guy sucked my cock, so I like him.
CEO of the Israeli-American
I'm like
Council,
his baba. He's my
Ellen Carr. Thank you. We have a man. I have to take a little time. Because every Saturday night, used to be Sunday, then he did so well that they put him on Saturday too, Saturday night. You know who I'm talking about? Because there's only one has Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday is considered Death Valley, but it's not death because of ratings. Nobody gets good ratings. Although actually my daughter-in-law is doing well, and you always did well. The great one, Mark Levin. And much more importantly, his much more brilliant wife. Where are you? There you are. Would you come on up here, both of you? Get up here. Get up here. Look, every Saturday, every Sunday, I'm forced to watch television to listen to this guy talk about how freaking great I am. Because he does like Trump. There's no question about it. Come on up here, Mark. Get up here.
Mark, come here.
Come on up. What a beautiful couple. Did you get lucky? If you weren't a genius, you wouldn't have a wife like this. Mark, say a couple of words. Come in. And these people do like Israel.
Hold on.
What?
And he loves Israel too.
Oh, brother.
6 years ago, I was up here, and I said, "This is our first Jewish president."
It's true.
Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidencies. We thank you for everything.
Bad things happened on the second one. Namely, the election was rigged. And we found out, and you see that happening. But
And you are the greatest president.
Thank you very much.
And God bless you. I miss you. I
miss you. Take care of that guy. Take care of that guy. No, he's so great. Thank you, Mark, for both being here. You both really are amazing. So, Rabbi Yehuda Kaplun. Thank you, Rabbi. Oh, no. Sid Rosenberg. There he is. Sid. Do you want to come up here, Sid? Mark, should I let Sid come up, Mark? I think so. Come on, Sid. So Sid's got the #1 radio show in New York. Got the #1 radio show in New York, like by far, ABC. Works for a really nice guy, too. Actually, he's not that nice, but he's nice as far as I'm concerned. He works for a good man. Say a few words, Sid. Thank you.
I love him. Do you all love him? Has there been a president even close to this guy, even close?
No!
And now I know what I love him. He starts tonight talking about Australia. Good luck with anybody else in our government, starting with the Jewish people in Australia. Nobody better. And the fact that you called me up on stage, I'm going to say this. My beautiful wife Danielle's in the audience. The birth of my 2 children. Outside of that, President Trump, this right now is the greatest moment of my life.
Wow. Wow, dude, you must have not had a life at all, bro.
He's almost crying. He never cried. He hasn't cried since he's a baby. Well, he's a great guy and a great man, and he loves Israel. And boy, you got some good people. Harmeet, thank you very much.
Yo, how many?
Harmeet Dillon is here.
Dude, they definitely had to hit a quota of how many times they had to say "I love Israel," or else Israel was gonna send a fucking nuke on them, bro. There's no way. Like, I don't know. Israel at this point literally been proven. I mean, it has to be. Okay. Let me see. What's the latest? There hasn't been a lot of coverage on Israel. Israel and Palestine conflict, huh? British mandate, yeah. Yeah, the people do have rights. I don't want to see that right now, though. I do. Let's see what Al Jazeera had to say. That's a wrap from us. The live page is now closed for more on Israel's claim that it killed senior Hamas senator Ratzneed and Gaza. Read a story here to read on how how virtual reality offers escape to Gaza, children wounded on Israel war. Go here. Learn more about how displaced Palestinians are coping with Storm Brian. Yeah, dude, it's fucking terrible. 13th. We will soon be closing this live page. Here's the look. Israel says it killed senior Hamas. Yeah. Hamas has not commented on the claim Saeed was killed, but the group says the Israel attack aims to derail this Gaza ceasefire agreement. The Palestinian Health Ministry says a 16-year-old boy was killed by Israel troops near Jenin in the north of the occupied West Bank. Israel army raids and arrests have continued across the West Bank amid a surge in violence against Palestinians in the area. Huh. An Israeli sniper shot my 6-year-old sister at a family friend's wedding in northern Gaza during the ceasefire on November 3rd. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have seen the image. Maybe I shouldn't have gone down there. But like, Israel is still okay. I'm gonna see what BBC has to say, but I don't trust them. Heavy rains, yeah, okay. That's 23. What about CNN? Okay, bro, whatever. I think. What about Benjamin? Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu announces $35 billion gas deal with Egypt as U.S. pushes for some. Wow. Hailed the agreement as the largest gas deal. Regional energy and contributes to stability in our region. Encourages other companies to invest in gas in Israel economic waters. Is it strictly a commercial transaction? No, I don't know, bro, but like, feels Egypt's broader strategical authority. The country is objective to reinforce its position as the key regional gas trading hub in the eastern. I mean, I guess, yeah, but you're also taking gas from Israel. Like, you're fucking, or you're trading with Israel, bro. So you're complicit with the war. 22 hours ago from The Guardian. Where is home now? Yeah. And our debt just keeps rising. But whatever. Let's get back to whatever he has to say.
And she sues the ass off of anybody that is anti-Semitic. She's doing a lot of them right now. Harvard wished they never heard her name, right? They're going to pay a lot of money, right, Harmeet? We're going to pay a lot of money. Sid, it's an honor to have you up, and you do a great show, and we appreciate it. And say hello to the Casamatides person, who's fantastic. And another person, I really love her. I think she's a beautiful woman. You're not allowed to say that anymore, because if you do, it usually means the end of your political career. But I've been threatened much worse than that. I think she's a beautiful woman, inside and out. Liz Pipko. Liz, come up here. Enough with the Sid and the Mark. Come on up here. Look at her. She has been so strong for Israel and for our country. Let's say a few words.
Dude, they literally have an Israel
First, I want to
quota.
address the elephant in the room, which is me tonight. I am grateful to President Trump for so many things, but now most of all, I'm grateful for this tiny miracle which exists because Donald Trump ran for office in 2016. I met the love of my life on that campaign, and now in addition to saving the world, I will have a child thanks to President Trump. So. And much more importantly, Jewish people have been through a lot, of course, the last few years, last weekend. And I just hope on this holiday of miracles, we realize what a miracle it is to be in the greatest country on the face of the earth, in the most beautiful building, and with the greatest president this world has ever seen.
3 lies, you're out. 3 lies, you're out. Yeah, 3 lies and she's out,
She was on the campaign
bro.
and she was so
What
effective.
the fuck did I just
Great.
say, bro?
And we always have to remember the ones
3
that have
lies,
been
you're
great in
out.
good times and bad. That's why Mark and people like introduce, because I don't introduce them when they're just sort of good. When they're good, everyone's good. The day after I won the election, they were, sir, I just want to tell you, you're the greatest person I've ever seen. Thank you, sir. I'd love to have dinner sometime. Where have you been for the last 2 years? We have a lot of those people, mostly those. Jason, how are you, Jason? Jason Greenblatt. Do you know Jason Greenblatt? He worked for me for years. He's a great lawyer. And he made a lot of money, and he said, I'm getting out. And you focused on Israel, right? That was the focus. He says, I love Israel. I just want to focus on Israel. It's good to see you there. I haven't seen you in a long time. But he was a great lawyer. He's another great lawyer, David. Good to have you here. Good to have you here, David. And we have another person that's a very special person.
Are they
She
related to Israel?
received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She is a beautiful woman, actually, in my opinion. Another one. That's 2 reasons, then. And third, by the way, Mark, we have 3 reasons, Mark. Because your wife is incredible, always, from day one. But I think it's okay if we ask Miriam Adelson. Do you want to come up here? Come up here, Miriam. Miriam gave my campaign, indirectly, 250 million. She was number 1. When somebody can give you 250 million, I think that we should give her the opportunity to say hello. And Miriam, make it quick.
Oh my God.
Because 250 million is not what it used to be. Okay? Hello, darling. Incredible woman with a great husband, a man that loved Israel.
Oh my God, they're all Israel lovers.
Well, Mr. President, when you were in the Israeli parliament and you gave a speech and you saw me from far away, at that time I came with a scooter to the parliament just to hear you. I wanted to hear you alive. And then you said, Miriam Adelson, and I stood for a second, but it was so painful, so I sat. Then you screamed, Miriam, stand up! And I wish you would have known, but I stood up.
Look, I'm gonna pause for a minute. Dude, later I'm literally gonna look up fucking like Israel memes on TikTok, bro, because there's no fucking way. Like, this guy, there's gotta be a quota, because how many minutes? 12 minutes long, and he said Israel like fucking 9-10 times, bro. Like, that's almost Israel every minute. What is?
That's the last of them.
Oh.
Time to come home.
That's literally like about showing that he has to bend his ass over for Israel. He literally has an Israel quota. Like, it makes no sense to say it that many times. Israel. I love Israel. They love Israel. They're proud supporters of Israel. Him over there, I know. My doctor. He quit being my doctor, said I was the healthiest one, and then went over to Israel. The fuck?
I heard all your compliment and thank you very much.
I saw you back there standing.
Yeah.
Dude, this woman
Thank
probably
you.
fucking kills
And,
Gaussian babies as well,
now
bro.
I met
Fucking
Alan Dershowitz,
monster.
and he said the legal thing about 4 more years, and I say, Alan, I agree with you, so we can do it. Think about it.
Alan's
and I
here
would be,
someplace. Where's Alan?
Alan is here, or he had a flight. Alan is here. Think about it.
Thank you.
Maybe I will be the first one of those or second.
She said, think about it. I'll give you another 250. But her husband, Sheldon, was an amazing guy, and he'd come up to the office, and there was nobody more aggressive than Sheldon.
That's the fucking
I think I
dude.
spent
That
more
has to
time with
be
him
Netanyahu's
and
fucking
you.
Israeli
We usually
spy
came
about to
up
take him
together,
out.
But he'd call and say,
It makes
can
no
I come
fucking
over,
sense,
please?
bro.
I say,
fucking
Sheldon,
4 more
I'm
years is
president
fucking
of the United
illegal.
States. It doesn't work that way anymore. It's like maybe tomorrow. How about tomorrow? No, please, just for a little while. And I would, he'd always say 10 minutes. It turned out to be about an hour and a half, right? And what he did is he fought for Israel. That's all he really fought for. He just wanted to take care of. He just wanted to take care of Israel. So he was a great guy. He was a fantastic man, and he loved you so much he couldn't see straight. So
That has to
thank
be
you,
fucking
darling. Be
Netanyahu's
careful.
#1 fucking spy, bro. #1 IDF soldier right there.
Be careful. We don't want her
Threaten him with
falling. You know, when you
250
fall, it's
million.
not good for politics. We had a man that fell a lot. I don't want to talk too much because I'll have my day, I'm sure, you know. They're waiting, the press. You know, all that press back there, they're waiting. Oh, would they like to see Trump trip off the stage? I would never live it down. But anyway, but it's so, and we have so many friends. I can't mention everybody. We have so many friends. Hello, my man. How are you? Boy, we have good people here tonight, huh? This is the A-list. This is the A-list of any list. But it's an honor to have you all. It really is. Just what you've done, and what you've gone through is incredible. And as a people, there's never been anything like it. You know, I told Bibi, I said, you know, it's amazing what you've done. Because when you look at the Middle East, you take a map of the Middle East, I said, the land is so small. It's so tiny. It's like hard to believe what you've been able to do. Now, it helped the B-2 bombers that we sent in to wipe out the... We gave them a lot of help. It helped when we were shooting all those drones down from jet fighters. Don't ever let anyone tell you a drone is better than a jet fighter. Drone's very nice. But when you have F-22s circling around them like there's nothing, just shooting the crap out of them out of the air, don't let anyone convince you that a drone is better than an F-22 or an F-35 or anything. But they're nice. They're nice. But we had our fighters shooting the hell out of 2,000 drones were launched at Israel, and they were just knocking them out. The only problem, on occasion, they'd run out of bullets, but every one of them took out a drone, and we...
I don't know why the fucking Netanyahu's #1 fucking spy didn't take him out there. He's shit talking fucking Israel right now. I mean, maybe not Israel like the Middle East, but he's still shit talking them, bro. He like came off of there. Shit talking their troops or whatever. Bro, he's literally making fun of Israel. And Israelis aren't upset? I don't get it, bro. Literally just made fun of Israel. Bro. Shit has nothing, bro. This shit is so mind-numbing, bro. The people in this room, like, gotta be checked for fucking retardation. I'm not even joking. You gave him 250 million because you're an Israeli spy. I get that part. Everyone else in this room has to be an Israeli spy because he just keeps pointing out people who support Israel. Ah, you over there. I remember you love Israel. Oh, you over there. You love Israel. I remember. Like, fuck, bro. What are they on about? Shit, mad retarded.
We did a great job, and then we did the best job of all as we knocked out the Iran nuclear power. And they would have had that, and within a month, I think they would have been a much different story. Would have been talking from a much different place. But the story of Hanukkah began more than 2,000 years ago in ancient Jerusalem, when the oppressive tyrant, and they were really oppressive, tried. By the way, a lot of things don't change so much. They'd be oppressive today if you didn't have strength. You need strength, Mark, right? If you don't have strength, and if you don't have a partner with a good president, don't forget you had a president previously that believed in Iran. They ditched the entire world for Iran. That's why they signed the Iran nuclear deal that I terminated immediately. It was the worst deal. And Bibi Netanyahu came over here to beg Barack Hussein Obama not to sign that deal, but he signed it. He signed it. It was a whole different world. And that's why I wonder. I got the highest Jewish vote. Now, I have to say, in Israel, they say I'm at 99%. But over here, I was like at 50. It meant that 50% of the people over here voted for Kamala. Is that possible? Is that even possible, right? So anyway, but they suppressed the Jewish worship and imposed foreign rules. Are we okay over there? Still want to make sure you're okay. You okay? Good. I want to make sure you're perfect. Okay? Thank you very much, Joe.
Lecture Flair, what real vocal
Yeah, is there a doctor? Get a doctor over there, please, just in case. Go ahead, hop over there, please. Okay. Good. Thank you very much.
Did you say you don't support Israel? Can we get a doctor in here? Yeah, fucking
Everything
lobotomize them.
Yeah.
Let's fucking lobotomize you.
Against overwhelming odds, a small band of Jewish fighters rose up to defend the Jewish people's right to worship freely. When they reclaimed the Holy Temple, they found only a single flask of sacred oil, just enough to keep the menorah's light burning for one night. They wanted that light to burn just for one night. Yet, as the story goes, that small flame endured for 8 days. You know that story? Does everybody know that story? For thousands of years, the miracle of Hanukkah has reminded us of God's love for the Jewish people, as well as their enduring resilience and faith in the face of centuries of persecution. Centuries. And it continues. It continues. Who would believe this could continue? And it sort of started here with schools and universities, and Harmeet's taking care of that situation very strongly, and the Department of Justice, right? Who would believe it? But we're grateful to be joined by another reminder of that unbreakable strength, two courageous survivors of the Nazi Holocaust.
And execution.
Jerry Worotsky and Michael Bornstein. Where are they? Where are you guys?
Has already begun.
Well, you look good.
Perhaps
You look better than I do. You look fantastic. Jerry was only 9 years old when the Nazis invaded Poland. He lost both of his parents in the camp, but refused to let their murder defeat him. After the war, he came to New York, where he had an incredibly successful career, became very successful, and became a good friend of Melania and myself, and I want to thank you, Jerry. And that's incredible what took place. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you very much. And Michael Bornstein lost both his father and mother in Auschwitz when he was just a very young man, a toddler actually. Through the love and sacrifice of other family members, he managed to survive and reunite with his mother in later years. They would come to America, where Michael received a scholarship to college and eventually earned a PhD in chemistry and became one of the most brilliant chemists anywhere around. So Michael and Jerry, I want to just thank you. We're honored to have you. This whole group of people are very honored to have you both. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. As President of the United States, I will always support Jewish Americans, and I will always be a friend and a champion to the Jewish people. I have been. And I will say, you know, if you go back 10, 12, 15 years ago at the most, the strongest lobby in Washington was the Jewish lobby. It was Israel. That's no longer true. You have to be very careful. You have a Congress in particular which is becoming anti-Semitic. You have AOC plus 3. You have those people, Ilhan Omar, she hates Jewish people. And you have to be very careful because there's been a big change. You know, if you go back 15 years ago, I'm not Jewish, but my father was very friendly with many, many Jewish people, was honored by Federation. I would go with him, the Federation of Jewish Philanthropies and many other things. And we grew up respecting and loving Jewish people. You know, you don't even think about it. In Brooklyn and Queens mostly. And my father didn't go to Manhattan. He never went to Manhattan from the standpoint. He could never understand how in Brooklyn you could buy a piece of land for $3 a foot, and how in Manhattan you had to pay $1,000 a foot. He said, I can't get that. I don't like it. I like to buy it for free. So it's different. It's a different thinking. In a way, I'm glad he didn't do that because he let me have some of that fun. And I had a lot of fun in Manhattan. We did great. But my father would tell me the most powerful lobby that there is in this country is the Jewish lobby. It's the Israeli lobby.
Israel.
It's not that way anymore. You have a lot of people in UA. You have a lot of people that don't want to help Israel. You have a lot of people in Congress that don't like Israel. You have a lot of people in Congress that, in a way, I think, Mike, we could say it, right? You're there. You're doing an amazing job, Mike Lawler. They hate Israel. They hate Israel. And if you would have told me 15 years ago that that was possible, Jason, I would have said, there's no way. There's no way that's possible. But it's happening. And obviously, it's getting progressively worse. Less so in the Senate, but the Senate's starting also. You get glimmers, you know, when I'm in the back rooms talking to people, you get glimmers of statements that you say, whoa, where did that come from? So we have to be, Sid, we have to be very careful because bad things are happening. And then you see what goes on in Australia or October 7th. How about October 7th? And then you have people that deny it ever happened. How about the people that deny, like they deny the Holocaust, but, you know, you figure, well, that's just many years. Well, October 7th is not many years at all. And you have people that deny October. I saw tape that I wish I never saw it, actually. Wish I never saw it. I got to see tape that some of you got to see, but as president, I got to see things I wish I never saw. But there's no denying it. But then they'll say, oh, the tape was, it's just propaganda. I don't know if they believe it. I don't think they believe it, but you have to be very, very careful. Bad things are happening, and we're not going to let that happen. While I'm president and the DOJ and Harmeet, we're not going to let it happen, but please, please be vigilant and careful because we have some bad people that are now in Congress that were unthinkable to be in Congress 12, 13, 14 years ago, 15 years ago. Within days of taking office, I signed a historic executive order to combat the vile scourge of anti-Semitism, as you know. It's the strongest executive order of its kind ever signed. And we're also mobilizing federal resources to protect Jewish students and faculty. The faculty is under siege. The students are under siege. When you look at Columbia, you look at Harvard, you look at some of these schools, what's going on. But the faculty on campuses across America and are deporting foreign jihadist sympathizers and terrorist supporters at record levels. We're deporting them. We're not putting them in jails, we're deporting them. I terminated the disastrous Iran nuclear deal. And this summer, we obliterated Iran's nuclear program like nobody's ever seen. And even that CNN fake news, they're back there, the camera's roaring. The light will go off in any second there. And they hate when I mention their name because they know it's only bad because they're crooked as hell. They're fake news, you know the term. I think it's one of my better terms, Sid, right? I don't think anybody takes it away. We have some good ones, Pocahontas, but I think fake news is probably pretty good. The only problem is it's actually not strong enough. You know, fake, it's crooked, corrupt, disgusting news, but we'll have to do with fake. But fake isn't strong enough. That's the only problem. It's actually
the only thing that's fake is this motherfucker on the podium, bro. Dude, they have these flags. Why didn't you put the Israeli flag if you're gonna talk about Israel so much, bro? The fuck? What are you on about, bro? Fucking cocksucking Israel, and you don't even have the Israeli flag behind you? I'm telling fucking Benjamin, bro. That wasn't part of the agreement. I'm telling fucking Benjamin on your ass. He's gonna fucking eat your ass. You should have all the fucking Israeli flags right behind you, motherfucker. Enemies? Wow, okay, bro.
I wish I could come up with a word that's really more powerful than fake, but fake is good enough. But CNN with the attack on Iran, they said, well, I used the word we obliterated them. You know why? Because the pilots told me they know better than anybody, and the pilots told everything, and then we had visuals. These pilots are coming back after having endured the most dangerous ride. I said, did you guys, I had them all to the Oval Office after 2 weeks after the attack. I had them all. I had the pilots, and I had people that maintained the planes. I had the people that fly the tankers. We had 52 tankers because we had the 7 major planes. We also had 4 planes flying in different, of the B-2, flying in different directions. Iran didn't know what the hell was happening. But we had a whole force of F-22s, most beautiful fighter jet ever made, most powerful fighter jet ever made. And F-35's a brand new one. And they're stealth. Believe me, they're stealth because they went into Iranian airspace and Iran never saw anything. And it was, think of it, 2 o'clock in the morning. It was dark at night. There was no moon at all, no light, no nothing. And every single bomb went right down those air shafts into granite mountains, right down those air shafts. At 2 o'clock in the morning with no vision, every single bomb hit its target. And CNN said on the way back, they were on the way, they hadn't even landed yet, well, maybe the attack wasn't that bad. Because I used the word obliteration. It turned out to be right. The Atomic Energy Commission shortly thereafter said it was total obliteration. Iran actually said it was total obliteration. In fact, they said touchdown. It was a touchdown. But it was amazing. And we've never had an apology from CNN, So you have fake news against you, fake news. And I didn't fight for you. I wasn't fighting for you there. I was fighting for those pilots that were so brave to go there. When they came into the Oval Office, I said, you can't seriously enjoy this. They said, sir, we enjoy every minute of it. We were practicing this and the predecessors. We were practicing for 22 years, they said. For 22 years they were practicing. And no president had the courage to let them go and do that. They wanted to do it for 22 years. And the predecessors mean the young pilots at the time. But for 22 years, 3 times a year, they were practicing that run. And I'm the one that said, let's go get them, let's do it. And if we didn't, and they thanked me. But I did say to the pilots, enough is enough. I said, do you really like being in that plane when they're waiting for you? They know you're coming, it's dark, it's cold, it's everything is, and you're in a plane. And there are bullets flying all over the place, sir. I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world. Can you believe these people? And I love you people, but I'm not getting in that plane. I love you guys, but these people are unbelievable. The talent they have, the way they can fly those things, the way they can
of course, it's
aim
like
it at
their
a
job,
target.
they're good at it,
In the
they
dark
have fun with
night,
it.
the darkest you've ever seen. They wanted to be as dark as possible. They didn't want anything. And the only time anybody could see those planes was when those bomb chutes open up, because it becomes totally unstealth when it goes. I explained that to Mark Levin once. You're going in, you go like this, and as soon as it goes like this, for some reason, the plane is totally visible, not good. And I watched it happening. It's like I'm sitting home watching it. It's amazing. The Situation Room is an amazing place. But I watched him go, bing, bing. It went bing, bing, and 2 massive 100,000-pound bombs come pouring out. And the job they did was incredible. I mean, compare that to, I thought he was a nice man, but compare that to the Jimmy Carter attack. That was not good with the helicopters and the men running all over the place trying to get the hell out of there. This was not good. This was the single greatest military attack that anyone's ever seen. And that sort of put an end to, we helped Israel very much, as you know, with their attacks. We were in before that, but that really put an end to it because they were about a month away from having a nuclear weapon. I officially recognize the true capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Is Julie good? Is she right? Where's Julie? Oh, good. I thought it was you that went down. It wasn't you? Oh, good. I was worried about. I didn't care about anybody else. I said, is Julie in trouble? I thought it was you. Good. It's somebody else. I wish them good luck, but I don't want that to happen to Julie. That's Mark's wife. We love Julie. But I didn't see Julie ever going down. She's like a rock, right? Mark, She's a rock. I wouldn't want to have her as my enemy. She was also a great lawyer, by the way. I also recognize the Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. And that's one they didn't even ask me. Even Sheldon, who is the most aggressive human being there is in the entire world. This incredible woman, although she had total control. He was aggressive with everybody, but Miriam, he would play games with Miriam, but he was actually a sweetheart. But he never even asked me about the Golan Heights because he said that's a step too far. I actually gave it because I called up. I heard so much about Golan Heights. From Jason Greenblatt, I heard it, from so many people. And I actually asked David Friedman. I said he was the ambassador, a good guy. He said, and by the way, Mike Huckabee's doing a great job there. Two good ones, two very good ones. But I asked David Friedman, I don't know if David's here, but I asked him because he is so Israel-oriented. I mean, he's great. I said, Dave, tell me about Golan Heights in 5 minutes or less. You know, I'm taking in like 1,000 years of history in 5 minutes. I said, give it to me in 5 minutes or less. And after about 2 minutes, I said, I understand. You need it so badly for so many other reasons. You need it for defense. You know, in the old days, before we had all the sophisticated radar and all the things, it was everything because you were up high. But I learned enough, and I signed the Golan Heights, the rights to the Golan Heights over to Israel. Nobody thought that was possible to get. They've been working on it for 70 years, Mark. 70 years. You know, planes would fly into places that have meetings that would last 2-3 days. All they talked about was the Golan Heights, right, Jason? And nobody ever did anything, but I did it, and we did it quickly. And I say, good luck to you. Then I found out the value of it, trillions of dollars. It could be worth, if you think, trillions of dollars. I said, maybe I should have asked him for something. But with Jared Kushner's help, Jared has been a great fan of Israel, the Kushner family. And by the way, how good is Steve Witkoff doing, right? You know, I got Steve involved in Russia, Ukraine, and the Middle East. We have, by the way, bottom line, we have legitimate peace in the Middle East. You know, you may have a little outbreak every once, but we have 59 countries all signed on. They'll do whatever is necessary. And Hamas, say what you want. Hamas, you know, we got back all of the hostages and all of the dead, young, beautiful people that were dead. And nobody thought that would happen. In fact, I even said, the toughest are going to be that final 20. We're never going to get them. But we played very tough, and we were very tough. We meant it. And we wanted to get back the 28 dead. 28 dead. Young, beautiful people dead. Most of them, I think, pretty young. All of them pretty young. And the parents came up to me, and I told the story before. We had another little celebration of Hanukkah before. But I told the story before where the parents were as dedicated to getting their dead son back as they were to getting the live son back. It was an amazing and a beautiful thing, but I didn't think it would be possible. And then when we got the 20 back, when we got the live back, we didn't have anywhere close to the 28 dead. And I said, there's no way, but I said, you got to get him back. You got to get him back. Got to get him back. And you know what? One by one, we got him back. And we got the last one back. We got them all back. And amazing, though, those parents were as dedicated. I can't say more, but they were as dedicated as the parents who knew their son was alive and they begged to have him. And I'm very proud of it. I thought their last 20, and it was tough, let it know. But Steve Witkoff was great. Jared Kushner was great. And, you know, Jared's a brilliant guy, we all know. But Steve's a great deal maker. But I noticed one thing about him. He had the greatest personality. He was a real estate guy in New York. He knew less about rivers and meets and bounds in Russia and the various places he's working on. He knew nothing about it. But I recognized for 20 years, I've been dealing with everybody in New York. I said, Steve has the best personality. I have other guys that are great deal makers, but you have to go into World War III before the deal. We didn't want that. I said, everybody loves Steve. He's a great deal maker, but everybody loves him. And that's what turned out to be. People love Steve. And I think we're going to be pretty close. I mean, we're going to see. I thought the easiest war to settle would be Russia, Ukraine, because they have a good relationship with Putin. It would have never happened if I were president. That would have never, and it didn't happen for 4 years. Putin understood. Would have never, ever happened. But Steve has done a fantastic job, and he loves Israel, and he's done a great job. So we did Israel, and we did peace in the Middle East, and we have a real peace. That's a real peace. If Hamas acts up, they know it's big trouble. And we have Hezbollah, as you know, in Lebanon, and they're big trouble. But we have peace, and we have many countries that want to go in and take out Hezbollah if it happens, if we want to do it. Not just Israel, many countries would do it. There's tremendous unity now in the Middle East, and we really do. We really have peace in the Middle East for the first time ever, so it's an honor. It's an honor. So we did our ceasefire agreement to end the war in Gaza, which everybody said was an impossibility, and we begin the new era of that beautiful peace in a place that nobody thought peace was possible, the Middle East. So congratulations to everybody in this room. Everybody wanted it. But the story of Hanukkah reminds us that light will always prevail over darkness, and faith and triumph over fear. Together, let us honor the eternal flame and the faith that has always protected the Jewish people. You are protected. You are special, special people. You are special people. So I want to thank everybody. I want to wish you all a happy Hanukkah. And you know, this is the first time that I've ever brought up notes to make a speech for. We call them the Christmas dinners. I call them the Christmas Hanukkah dinners, if that's okay. I hope you don't mind. But I call them New Year's dinners too. But I've made about 20 of them so far. I never had an answer. I brought this up. You know why? I've done so much for Israel that I have to read. Look, I got like pages. And I don't want to leave anything out. I don't want to leave Golan Heights out. I want to tell you what we did. But it's an honor to help you. I have so many friends, and a lot of you are right in this area. It's a very special group of people. You know, for every time we have one of these parties, we have to turn down 10 people for everyone that makes it. It's the White House. Soon you'll have a ballroom that's so big I can handle. And we just won the case today. Did you know that, Mark? We just won the case. We got sued. We're donating a $400 million ballroom, and we got sued not to build it. For 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom, and we're giving them, myself and donors are giving them, free of charge, for nothing. We're donating a building that's approximately 400 million. I think I'll do it for less, but it's 400. I should do it for less. I will do it for less. But just in case I say 400, otherwise if I go $3 over, the press will say, it costs more. I build under budget and ahead of schedule. Right, Jason? Always. I know how to build under budget. I build good, but we won the case. They asked for a restraining order to stop us from building a magnificent ballroom. I said, who would ask for a restraining? We're giving them, Sid, a $400 million. It'll be the most beautiful ballroom, and it'll handle inaugurations. It's got 5-inch thick glass windows. It's impenetrable by anything but a howitzer. It's impenetrable. Now, I will say, if I'm up making a speech someday, Mark, and I hear ding, 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 I'm out of there. But it's going to be one of the greatest. I think it'll be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. But I said, who else but in our country would sue to stop a $400 million beautiful ballroom that the people have been after for the White House? The White House has wanted a ballroom for 150 years. You know, they used to use a tent, and they have a tent, and the tent would go in a very low area because it's the only area that can handle a big tent. And if it rained, the rain would go over the woman's beautiful shoes with the high heels, about 6-7 inches worth of water. They'd be sitting in the water, and people said, would rather have that than a brand new. This ballroom is going to be amazing. Also designed to handle the inauguration so that you have total safety from not only the weather. January 20th is always a disaster from a coldness standpoint. But, you know, we had it in the Capitol, and there was nothing more beautiful. But from a safety standpoint, we can do better. So we're going to have something that's really spectacular. And I thank the judge on the case for the courage in making the proper decision, because we didn't want to be held up. We would win that automatically anyway. But we didn't want to be held up or delayed. We want to go. And right outside, you see the pile drivers going boom, boom, boom. And my wife is being driven crazy.
Let's give it another go, sugar.
She said, this is not what I had in mind. You know, the first day she was great. She heard these piles that go down 150 feet into the ground. Boom. Second day, she was okay. Third day, she wasn't thrilled. And after that, it's been brutal. But you know what? You're going to have the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world, and you're going to love it. It's going to fit beautifully with the White House. Happy Hanukkah. Have a great year. We love you, and we love Israel. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, David. Good luck, everybody. Go get them, Harvey. Don't disappoint these people. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Dude, I just had to check. But like, they literally had a fucking Israel fucking quota,
Let me know
bro.
what we're short of. Fold it into the scav order for that outer sector.
It's crazy.
I'm heading out in a bit. See what I can find.
Oh shit, I forgot they had people in here now. But like, bro, tell me you ain't sucking straight fucking Israel cock without telling me you sucking straight Israel cock, bro. It's crazy. What if I search up Israel in YouTube, huh? What happens? Oh yeah, let me see. I'm gonna have to turn the volume all the way off. But let me see. So what? Yeah. It's really a homage. Okay. Israel did not end the war and apologize. I don't know what that comment's trying to like refer to. War crimes. Oh. Huh. Yo, let's watch this one.
The goal of the Israeli government is abundantly clear: the destruction of life in Gaza. For a year and a half now, our commission has been investigating the violence in Gaza. We have seen constant escalation and deaths and injuries. In the last 3 months, the entire population of Gaza was forcibly transferred into small enclaves, and Palestinians were killed while attempting to receive aid, bringing life to its bleakest point to date.
Oh, that's the last one? 500
No, if you
melee?
talk to an Israeli, they'll tell you, no, it's not the IDF. It's Hamas that's shooting at desperate, hungry Palestinians as they're trying to get flour from these humanitarian aid hubs. But you just heard someone from the UN. So the situation in Gaza has never been worse, according to...
I mean, yeah. It's never been worse, because, I mean, they just keep fucking bombing them, bro. Like, what? Like, they can't defend themselves, they can't do shit, and then the fucking, we try to give them supplies, they get stopped by Israel. Fucking, all this shit, bro, like, of course. They're in the worst time of their lives, they're facing I forgot what it was, but a fucking natural disaster as well.
Navi Pillay, who is the chair of the Commission of Inquiry on the Occupied Palestinian Territory at the United Nations. So she is calling the war in Gaza the most ruthless, prolonged, and widespread attack against the Palestinian people since 1948. And she laid out the findings of her commission report that were released to the Human Rights Council last month. Now, I'm going to quickly pause for further context, because if you notice, the Israeli government loves to trash the UN or any UN organization. And it's because the UN is an international body that sometimes does investigations into Israel's conduct, and they don't like that. They don't like to be held accountable. They hate it. Oh my God, you're calling us out on our war crimes? No, we're the civilized ones. We're not the barbarians. No, sometimes you guys act like barbarians. In fact, right now, acting like barbarians. Just keep it real. If you don't like the truth, too bad. We're going to slap you with it. So she starts with how Israel's ongoing assault has impacted children. Let's take a look.
Children have paid an unimaginable price. More than 1,300 children have been killed just from the end of the ceasefire on 18th March to date. And more than 15,000 children have been identified as having been killed since October 2023. Our findings show that as Israeli...
Not to mention the people in their camps that they abuse and, you know, sexually abuse, like, constantly, bro.
Security forces killed thousands of children. They also obliterated the education system in Gaza. More than 90% of schools and university buildings in Gaza have been damaged or destroyed, creating conditions where education for children has been made impossible.
There are videos of IDF soldiers going into hospitals and literally breaking any equipment that remains. Why would they do that? Was Hamas hiding in the monitors of the gadgets that they need at that hospital? Is that what happened? Come on. Like, don't insult the intelligence of people who have actually been paying attention to what's happening on the ground there. We all see it. And now you have a UN report to back it up. Notably, while Israeli forces often claim that they were targeting Hamas operatives allegedly based in schools, the commission verified only one instance of Hamas using a school for military purposes. That is unsurprising to say the least, but they'll still perpetuate that lie. And that's the thing about how Israel is losing this PR war. Because number one, I mean, it's difficult to defend the indefensible. But number two, they're lazy. Like, they've got like 3 or 4 talking points, and they just rotate those same talking points over and over again. Human shields, Hamas tunnels, using it as a command center, blah, 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 blah.
That is true. That is true. That's true. I'm sorry. I want to get back to
educational facilities believed to be safe refuge areas, killing the displaced, including children and women, and deliberately shelled, burned, and demolished schools and universities. The Commission could not identify any military necessity which justifies such actions And we conclude that these actions show an intent to destroy these facilities in order to curtail Palestinians' access to education in the long term. These attacks were part of a widespread and relentless assault against the Palestinian people in which Israeli forces have committed war crimes, including directing attacks against civilians and willful killing, and the crime against humanity of extermination.
In fact, yesterday, Tuesday of this week, was such a gruesome day at these humanitarian aid hubs that upward of 100 people were killed by IDF as they're waiting in line to get flour. The story was, by the way, awful enough when the reported death toll was in the dozens, and then it got updated and it was over 100 in a single day. Absolutely sick. So witnesses said that Israeli forces carried out an airstrike on a nearby home before opening fire toward the crowd. Hey, before I read this, remember, a doctor working in the emergency room witnessed 7 little bodies show up in that hospital, dead bodies. They were all her children. And then later she found out 2 more of her children died in a single Israeli airstrike. She only has 1 remaining child left. Her husband had survived the airstrike, was hospitalized, but then later died. I mean, just disgusting. Like, I can't.
Dude, that's
It's just,
yeah, that's crazy.
disgusts me. It disgusts me. That's really the only way I can express myself and not be overly offensive. It disgusts me. This is barbaric. Witnesses said that the Israeli forces carried out an airstrike on a nearby home before opening fire toward the crowd. The Israel Defense Forces said that it was aware of reports of a number of injured individuals from IDF fire following the crowd's approach, and that the incident was under review. That's another talking point that you'll hear. Oh, oopsie, we got caught doing what appears to be a war crime, or is definitely a war crime, and don't worry, we're going to investigate it. You're never going to hear from it again. What happened to the IDF soldiers in Jenin who were shooting at international ambassadors who were visiting? What happened to them? What happened to that internal review? I mean, their internal reviews are so ridiculous and non-existent that it makes like local police departments in this country blush. It's like insane. In a statement, the IDF said nothing of value. Nothing of value. I haven't even read this yet, but I already know nothing of value. But nonetheless, said that a gathering was identified next to an aid distribution truck that got stuck in the area in proximity to IDF troops. The IDF regrets any harm. I'm done. Yeah, I don't. Their statements mean nothing to me. Nothing. Okay? They're terrorists. These people are carrying out acts of terror. They are killing innocent people on purpose. This is not an accident. This has been going on for far too long. They want to wipe the Palestinians off the face of the earth. And whoever remains, get them out of Gaza. We want this land. But it's like, why would Israel be surrounded by so many enemies? Like, why? Why would anyone why would people have a problem with Israelis? I don't get it. They've been so kind to people in that region. This is far from the first incident. Israeli troops have repeatedly shot and killed civilians approaching those hubs since they opened last month. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, 397 people have been killed seeking aid from the sites,
Dude,
which are located.
I have to still keep doing my weeklies. After this video, I can go back to drunk. But like, bro, there's
In
no
both
way
southern
we
and
haven't
central
fucking
Gaza.
like
And before I
invaded
hear
fucking
the
Israel
ridiculous
or
talking
stopped
point
Israel
of like,
or
oh,
fucking
well, you know, the Palestinian
the
Health
president
Ministry,
or fucking-
they're controlled by Hamas. Okay. You also have what remains of the few journalists on the ground in Gaza. A lot of them actually report to Drop Site News. Yeah, the casualties at these hubs in the hundreds. It's not made up. It's not made up. One other thing I'll just note. Look, I don't know if my speculation here is sound, but I'm going to say it anyway. At the start of this war, at the start of this genocide, there were 2.2 million Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. And if you pay close attention, you'll notice something with how Trump talks about Gaza and how Netanyahu talks about Gaza. They don't say 2.2 million or 2.1 million. They say 1.7 million Palestinians. Are they telling on themselves? Like, why have they, like, landed at 1.7 million?
Yeah, they're just fucking battle around, bro. All right. Let's go back to fucking Israel Central #1. Israel Center #1. America is not back. Mexican border.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Quiet.
We had a long discussion, and things are seemingly going well, but we've been saying that for a long time. And it's a difficult one. We had, as you know, settled 8 wars, and one was having a little problem yesterday, Thailand and Cambodia. We were able to straighten that out. Some killing going on that shouldn't have happened. We appreciate them working to get it straightened out, and they have. The security protocols yesterday were amazing, and they have been amazing, having to do with Russia and Ukraine. And I had a long talk with President Zelensky. Also, I spoke with the heads of Germany, Italy, NATO, Finland, France, United Kingdom, Poland, Norway, Denmark, and the Netherlands.
Live streaming every single fucking
very
day.
long and very good talks.
Okay, bro.
And again, I think things
sorry,
are
bro, but the president
going
should not be a
along
fucking streamer.
pretty well. 27,000 soldiers were killed last month. Shouldn't happen. Should have never happened. Should have never started. That war should have never ever started. But it did, and we're trying to get it solved. That was Biden's situation. We're trying to get it done. And I think we're closer now, and they will tell you that they're closer now. We had numerous conversations with President Putin of Russia. And I think we're closer now than we have been ever. And we'll see what we can do. We want to save a lot of lives. We sell equipment to NATO. We don't spend any money, but we do want to see if we can save a lot of lives. When you're losing 25,000 to 30,000 soldiers, mostly soldiers, other people too, from towns, and like places like Kiev, various other places throughout Ukraine. It's pretty bad. Nobody's seen anything like it, actually, since World War II. But we're getting closer. We're having tremendous support from European leaders. They want to get it ended also. And at this moment, Russia wants to get it. And the problem is they'll want to get it ended, and then all of a sudden they won't. And Ukraine will want to get it ended, and all of a sudden they won't. So we have to get them on the same page. But I think that's working along. Very good talk. On day one of my administration, I signed an executive order making it core mission of the United States military to protect and defend the homeland. And today, we're here to honor our military men and women for their central role in the protection of our border, something that I campaigned very, very strongly on. And they made me look really good. They were unbelievable. They made us all look good. I mean, we went from having millions of people pouring over our border to having none in the last 8 months. None. In a few moments, we'll officially recognize their service by awarding them the Mexican Border Defense Medal, which is a big deal. We're joined for this occasion by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dan Kane,
man #1,
Commander of U.S. Northern Command, General Gregory Gio, Commander of the Southern Border Task Force, Major General Scott Noman, Command Sergeant Major Brett Johnson of the U.S. Army's 10th Mountain Division, Administrator of the Drug Enforcement Agency, Terry Cole, and many other members of our administration who have done an incredible job on the border. You know, people forget now that the border has been secure for actually 7 months. Think of it, more. And they don't mention the border anymore. Nobody talks about the border. They talk about affordability, and we're the ones that are bringing the prices down. We were given the worst inflation in our country's history, and we're bringing the prices down. But the affordability is on the Democrats because they have made it unaffordable to be in this country, but we're bringing those prices down, and they're coming down quickly. Energy is coming way down, and if you look, gasoline prices are hitting in many locations $1.99 a gallon. Nobody thought they'd see that. They were $4, $5, and $6 a gallon under Biden. In the 4 years before I took office, our southern border was surrendered to criminals, drug cartels, human traffickers, and child smugglers. Our entire southwest border on the Mexican side is under the physical control of cartels that are among the most violent entities nobody's ever seen anywhere on the planet, the most violent people on the planet. Remember when the Democrats and others, the radical left, used to say that the people they're allowing into our country, immigrants, are nice people. They're not violent like our people. Well, they make our people look like babies. These are some of the most violent criminals anywhere on earth from many countries, not just Venezuela. Venezuela emptied their jails into our country, but others have also. The Congo has. So many other countries have. And we don't put up with it. I have to say the drugs coming in by sea are down 94%. And we're trying to figure out who the other 6% are. But they're down 94%, and we're going to start hitting them on land, which is a lot easier to do, frankly. But these are a direct military threat to the United States of America. They're trying to drug out our country. And you can look throughout history. Look at China when they were loaded up with drugs. They were suffering greatly, and others were able to take them over. And other countries also. They're trying to drug out our country, and we're reversing it rapidly, actually. But with the help of our great service members, we've stopped the invasion in its tracks, and we're dismantling the cartels very rapidly. And they are being declared enemies of the United States of America. They have been so declared, legally declared. More than 25,000 warriors have served in this historic operation. It is indeed an incredible and historic operation. And we've never done anything so effectively, and we've had a lot of victories. They've spent night and day enduring scorching hot and bitter cold, and they've given up their holidays and their weekends working with the officers of Customs and Border Protection. Our armed forces have already conducted nearly 13,000 patrols along the border. And today we give these great warriors the recognition that they have earned, and they have really earned it. The military component of our border security efforts is just the beginning. We're also designating the drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, a big deal from a legal standpoint and military standpoint. We've ended catch and release, and we endured and ensured that anyone who sets foot across our border illegally is intercepted, arrested, and immediately deported, or if they're really bad, they're put into prison because we don't want to ever take a chance to come back. As a result, illegal border crossings have plummeted to the lowest level ever recorded in the history of our country. Think of that. In the history of our country, you can all be very proud. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States of America. We inherited the worst border in the history of our country, one of the worst borders, I would say, in the world. I can't imagine any border in the world being worse when they allowed 25 million people to come in. And again, many of these people are gang members and from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. And some of the worst people on earth they allowed to come into our country. We're getting a lot of them out We've made a big dent. And the self-deportation is something nobody talks about, but literally millions of people are self-deporting because they don't want to be captured. Once they're captured, they don't have the chance to self-deport. And they never have the chance to come back into our country. We inherited that border from an incompetent administration and turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. So we took the worst border in the history of our country, and in a period of 2 months, we turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. During this time, we've also achieved a 50% drop in the amount of fentanyl coming across the border, and China's working with us very closely on bringing down the number and the amount of fentanyl that's being shipped. You know, fentanyl is very bad when you mix it with certain ingredients, but it also is very important for medicine, for anesthesia, various other things. I want people to understand that. It's not made necessarily for bad. When it's mixed with certain things, it becomes bad. And that's what's taking place in Mexico. We've got it down to a much lower number, not satisfactory, but it will be satisfactory soon. In May, we executed the largest fentanyl bust in the history of the U.S., seizing 3 million fentanyl pills all at one time. Think of that, 3 million pills. It's amounted to billions of dollars worth of drugs. And last month, we seized another 1.7 million fentanyl pills in the state of Colorado, the poorly run state of Colorado, with a governor who's incompetent. And frankly, with a governor that won't allow our wonderful Tina to come out of a jail, in a high-intensity jail, because she caught people cheating on an election, and they said she was cheating. She wasn't cheating. She went over, she looked at one of the election scams going on, and because she did that, they put her in jail for 9 years. The governor of Colorado is a weak and pathetic man who was run by Tren de Aragua, the criminals from Venezuela, took over sections of Colorado, and he was afraid to do anything. But he puts Tina in jail for 9 years because she caught people cheating. And when she walked over and got involved in it, they said she was cheating. She wasn't cheating. She caught people cheating on the election, 2020, along with a lot of other people that cheated on that election. You'll see that coming out more and more. But there's no doubt that Americans' adversaries are trafficking fentanyl into the United States, in part because they want to kill Americans.
Oh, bruh.
If this were a war, that would be one of the worst wars. I believe they killed, over the last 5 or 6 years, per year, 200 to 300,000 people. You hear about 100,000, which is a lot of people, but the number's much higher than that. That's been proven.
Me when I lie.
And they've destroyed a lot of families.
Me when I lie.
Because when they lose a child, or even if their child is heavily addicted, you lose that family. The family will never be the same. That's why today I'm taking one more step to protect Americans from the scourge of deadly fentanyl flooding into our country. With this historic executive order I will sign today, we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, which is what it is.
What?
No bomb does what this is doing. 200 to 300,000 people die every year.
You're calling
that we know
fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction.
So we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. But before I sign the fentanyl order, we will pin these great service members with their medals. And here today are the first 13 warriors who will receive the Mexican Border Defense Medal, which is a big deal. First, I'd like to ask Secretary Hegseth and Chairman Kane to say a few words. I'd like to have Tom Homan come up, please, if you would, say a few words.
Dude, I gotta play Dead by Daylight.
And I want to thank all of the people, Pam and everybody, Stephen Miller, great Stephen Miller, what a job he's doing, for being here. Thank you both. Appreciate it very much. We have so many great people here. But I do want to ask Tom to say a few words also. So, Pete, why don't you start it off, please?
You going to let them intimidate you like that?
Mr. President, thank you. I would echo what you said. This has been a team effort from the beginning. Tom Homan, Terry Cole, Stephen Miller, Pam Bondi, Christy NUMB, Customs and Border Patrol, Protection. It has been one team, one mission to get 100% operational control of the southern border. You want to talk about America first, peace through strength and common sense? It all manifests in one basic phrase down there. Border security is national security. And we had the task of 100% control, and because of these men and women back here, we've achieved that. Nobody is crossing the southern border. And I want to give a big shout out to our Northern Command, General Guillot. From day one, our department didn't look at the border this way before you. Joe Biden allowed an invasion of this country. Tens of millions of people, drugs, gangs, violence. And the military jumped to it on day one with our partners. But ultimately, it was incredible Americans. There's 13 up here with us today. They all represent about 2,000 people who've served at the border so far. So 25,000 Americans qualify for this Mexican National Defense Border medal that we're announcing today. And what's cool about this medal, it was actually first given out in 1918. So we're reviving an old medal that existed, was given to men and women who defended the southern border. We found out about it. We used the exact same foundry with the exact same imagery, same color, same medal, same everything. So our men and women will be wearing that very same medal as Americans 100 years before who were asked to defend the sovereignty of our country. President Trump was elected to do that. You have done that, Mr. President. We're proud of this mission. We're proud to defend the American people. And pinning these medals on is an example of how important it is to us. So thank you, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, Mr. Secretary, I want to echo your thanks and gratitude for the Joint Force. I also want to highlight General Guillot, General Nauman, and Command Sergeant Major Johnson, but also leaders at every level that came together, not just in our joint force, but in the interagency. And I want to specifically highlight our Border Patrol teammates and our Office of Air and Marine teammates who, when I went down to the southern border and visited, were right there next to the joint force. I also want to thank not just these 13 individuals, but the joint force that was also down there and your families who poured in to make this deployment possible on the southern border. And of course, this time of the year, I'm always thinking about our currently deployed forces.
Dude, there's barely any diversity in this fucking group, bro. The only one I can point out that's maybe different, this guy. He looks like the tiniest bit Chinese, or like Asian or whatever. But everyone else is just fucking white. Except for maybe this dude, I can't see him too clearly. Like, what, bro?
Hey, don't forget about this cat.
These guys don't even look mixed at all either. Maybe this girl on the far right that's like flipped off. Maybe a little bit mixed, but like, bro, it's the whitest shit I've ever seen.
Who are out there around the world doing our nation's business, and of course our fallen and their families who show us what courage and tenacity really are as they move forward after the loss of a service member. So thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
You know, it's always an honor for me to be in the Oval Office with the greatest president of my lifetime. Yes, I said it, and I meant it.
I said it.
You know, I just got home last night. I toured the border in California, Arizona, and Texas. I did it in four-wheel drive. I did it on the river. I did it from the air. Hundreds upon hundreds of miles of border. I didn't see one illegal alien. Not a single one. I've done this since 1984. I worked for 6 different presidents. No one's done more than President Trump. What he has done is gave us the most secure border in the history of this nation. Hard to stop. I went to hundreds of miles of border, didn't see one illegal.
Bro, looks so fucking uncomfortable here, bro. Why they got them fucking dressed up like this? They look like fucking idiots, bro. What's the point?
Incredible, considering the Biden administration, we had 10, 12,000 a day, most released in the United States. I'm proud to be with these patriots behind me. I'm already proud to be in the Oval Office of the President, but being with these heroes, I met some of these soldiers down on the border. And actually, a shout out to Fort Drum, New York. We got some 10th Mountain Division here, so at least upon it, Claudia Tenney, we all love Fort Drum and the 10th Mountain. So look, this is a game changer. I want to make something perfectly clear. Can we get attacked all the time being inhumane, The Biden administration is much more humane. It's a bunch of crap. Because there's been studies done that 31% of women that make that journey through the cartels get sexually assaulted. They get raped. And not just the women, children too. I've done numerous investigations on that.
Okay.
Sex trafficking was historic highs with that open border. Fentanyl, historic highs that killed 250,000 Americans. No inspector terrorists that came across the border. Records, still. What happened under the Biden administration was the most inhumane thing I've seen in my lifetime. Now that the border is 96% decline, 96% less people are coming, how many women aren't being raped? How many children aren't dying making that journey? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked into this country every day? How many known suspected terrorists aren't just walking across that border? President Trump and this administration is saving thousands of lives every month. Hard stop.
Then what about the alligator Alcatraz, where they are raping the women and children and murdering the people, or you know, Trump's good friend Epstein, that was raping children, but apparently it was all for himself, right? All for himself. No sex trafficking friends, even though you guys had a client list, and then you guys didn't have a client list, and then now you do. You didn't have photos, now you do. You didn't have video, but then you did. But then, like, also you guys cut out a segment of the clip. Like, there's a minute missing from it. Like, what are you fucking on about, you fucking liar? What are you fucking on about?
That's just a stone cold fact. I'm just proud to be a part of this. I work with Steve Miller every day. Steve Miller is one of the most brilliant people I've met in my entire life.
You're an idiot.
President Trump brought together one hell of a team here, and the success proved. We all working together, one team, one fight. We're not done yet. We're going to keep going, and I guarantee you we can continue saving thousands and thousands of lives. Secure border means strong national security. Secure border saves lives. Thank you.
Let's do the medals and I'll be signing this. Maybe we'll do the medals first and then I'll stop. Okay? Please. That's right. It's not bad.
Award.
These are my top 10 or top 13 most loyal guinea pigs. They'll do anything I say. Today I shall be awarding them for being so dumb and so loyal.
No auto pen. None. We don't like auto pens, right? We don't like auto pens. How about gathering around me and we'll hold this up. Congratulations. That's an amazing job. Come on around. Come on around. Let's take a good picture.
Daddy on his line.
Fantastic job. You guys, fantastic job. Thank you very much. Great job. What you've done is unprecedented. How about holding one up? You guys hold it up. Nice. Hold it up high. You deserve it more than me.
You did. And you can handle it.
So I'm going to give you another medal, though, that may be more beautiful. I'm not sure it means as much, but it's really good, okay? This is gun medal. This is the one the military loves. So we're going to start, okay?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, dear. Here you go.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr.
It's
President.
pretty nice. Want to compare it? Let me see, compare it. Let me see how that looks. I don't know. That looks pretty good.
Thank you, Mr. President.
But that means something very special.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
You must say thank you. You must say thank you.
What you can do, tie it around your neck. It's got a nice ribbon. I think you'll like it. It's special. We don't give them to many people.
Those faithful believe they can secure a place in sacred
Come on
town.
over here. Come here.
They massacre
Look at this guy.
the man's being
That's 4 sides up, big. That means a lot up there. Hey, General, come on over here, even though you have one. I gave him one. No, he's General right here, General Raisin Cane. He's a great general. Thanks very much. Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's an honor. This is a fantastic moment. I haven't done this before. And the job they've done on the border is something. And what they left us with, that they would have open borders with millions of people, 25 million people, probably more than that, pouring into our border. Totally unchecked and unvetted. Now we have the opposite. And we want people in our country, but they have to come in legally. And they know that. And they know they're not getting through, so now they don't even try. So all of the death that Tom Holman talked about, the rape and the death and all the problems, doesn't have really happen because the caravan, a name I think I came up with, maybe not. But the caravans are very small. In fact, for the most part, they don't even exist anymore because they know they're not going to get through. In a little while, you'll be seeing, I'm suing the BBC for putting words in my mouth, literally, they put words in my mouth. They had me saying things and they never said coming out. I guess they used AI or something. So we'll be bringing that lawsuit. A lot of people are asking, when are you bringing that lawsuit? Even the media can't believe that one. They actually put terrible words in my mouth having to do with January 6th that I didn't say. And the beautiful words that I said, right? The beautiful words. Talking about patriotism and all of the good things that I said, they didn't say that, but they put terrible words. They actually have these words that I never
Shut the fuck up, dumb bitch. Anyways.
Yeah, the BBC is using AI, bro. There's no way I said that shit, bro. Motherfucker, this guy is the fucking president of AI, bro. He can't do any. He can't even fucking spell his name without fucking AI, bro. What is he on about? Too much jump, but come on, bro. You can't be serious. I saw another 15 minutes of this slot.
Because I believe somebody at BBC said, this is so bad, it has to be reported. Let's call fake news. So we'll be filing that suit probably this afternoon or tomorrow morning. I want to thank all of you for being here. If you have any questions, I guess you could ask, but this is really a day of celebration for these people. The job they've done is really unprecedented. So go ahead.
Brown University, Mr. President. Do you know what the motive of the shooter was? Was it a targeted attack?
That's moving along now, and we don't. And we're going to see what happens. Hopefully, they're going to capture this animal. Hopefully, they're going to capture it.
Has Kash Patel told you why it's been so difficult for the FBI to identify who the shooter is?
Well, it's always difficult. So far, we've done a very good job of doing it. With Charlie, with the various times this has happened, they've done it in pretty much record time. But you really have to ask the school a little bit more about that because this was a school problem. They had their own guards, they had their own police, they had their own everything. But you'd have to ask that question really to the school, not to the FBI. We came in after the fact, and the FBI will do a good job, but they came in after the fact.
Targeted, Mr. President?
No, they don't know that.
On the issue of drugs, is it accurate that you are considering an executive order to reclassify marijuana?
We are considering that. Because a lot of people want to see it, the reclassification, because it leads to tremendous amounts of research that can't be done unless you reclassify. So we are looking at that very strongly.
Mr. President.
Katie?
Is it true that the reports that you rebuked the Israeli Prime Minister, are the reports that you rebuked the Israeli Prime Minister for the hit on the Hamas general true? And is Israel undermining your efforts to be a peacemaker?
No, Israel and I have gotten along very well. My relationship with Bibi Netanyahu has been obviously a very good one. Look, we took out Iran. We wiped out, with that plane right there, we wiped out the B-2 bomber, we wiped out the Iran nuclear threat, and because of that, we were able to make peace in the Middle East. No, we've had a very good relationship with Israel. We actually have a very good relationship with just about everybody in the Middle East.
Violation of the ceasefire, the strike on the Hamas general?
We're going to have to, we're looking into that. We're looking.
On the Syria ambush of U.S. forces, do you still have confidence in the Syrian president?
I do. I mean, this had nothing to do with him. This is a part of Syria that they really don't have much control over. And it was a surprise. He feels very badly about it. He's working on it. He's a strong man. And no, this had nothing to do with the Syrian government. This had to do with ISIS. As a response, they'll be hit hard, yeah.
Wow. Javier Negre, Real America's Voice on Español. First of all, thanks for honoring these heroes. The communists have lost Chile. The pro-Trump candidate, José Antonio Caz, won the elections. Do you think this right-wing wave in the Spanish war is due to your influence?
Well, we just had a good one in Honduras, as you know. Had a great election there. I endorsed somebody that was not leading, and he won the election. And we had a good one just a couple of hours ago, I found out, in Chile. The person I endorsed, who was not leading, ended up winning quite easily. So I look forward to paying my respects to him. I hear he's a very good person.
Thank you, Mr. President. This year you fired Democrats from a number of federal agencies, and now going into 2026, there are some key regulators like the SEC, the CFTC that are going to have 0 Democrats. Do you plan to appoint Democrats to fill those empty spots, or do you think that federal agencies shouldn't have Democrat commissioners?
Well, do you think they would be appointing Republicans if it were up to them? So, we'll look at it. Look, we want to be fair, but typically they're not appointing Republicans. So you're asking me the question whether or not I'd appoint Democrats. But there are certain areas that we do look at, and there are certain areas that we do share power. And I'm open to that, please.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. It was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all, in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country, yeah.
Slips, Mr. President. Leader Thune doesn't seem like he wants to get rid of blue slips. Will there be consequences for the Senate if they
Well, I think they should get rid of blue slips because as a Republican president, I am unable to put anybody in office having to do with U.S. attorneys or having to do with judges. In other words, if you have one, not two, you don't need two, just one. If you have one Democrat senator, where we have a lot of them, you have one Democrat senator in a state, it is not possible to appoint, because of blue slips, a judge. It's not possible to appoint a U.S. attorney. You see that happening. And I think it's a disgrace. I think blue slips are a disgrace. They've long since, I mean, they should not be relevant anymore. This is a different world than it was 15, 20 years ago. You know, that was a gentleman and gentlewoman world. This is a little bit different, unfortunately. Yeah, please.
President, what do you want to see Congress do this week as it relates to health care and the expiring ACA?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd like to see the people get the money. I'd like to see all of the money that's going to the Democrat insurance companies. You know, the insurance companies are making a fortune. They're up 1,700% and more. And they're taking in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars, even trillions of dollars. And Obamacare gives you terrible health care. Just so you understand, Obamacare was set up, and I said it right from the beginning, for the benefit of the health insurance companies, of the insurance companies. They're making billions and billions of dollars. Their stock is through the roof. I don't want to give them anything. I want all money going to the people and let the people buy their own health care. It'll be unbelievable. They'll do a great job. They'll get much better health care at a much lower cost.
Would you like Republicans next year to just use reconciliation to do with health care exactly what you laid out, and they wouldn't have to worry about Democratic votes?
Well, that or knock out the filibuster. If you knocked out the filibuster, it would all go away, but we have a few people that wouldn't do that. It's crazy. Look, we should knock out the filibuster. And if you did that, we'd get voter ID. You'd have no mail-in voting, all things that make our elections dishonest. And you'd get a lot of other things having not even to do with voting. But Republicans should knock out the filibuster, and we should approve a lot of things. You wouldn't have January 30th looming, because, you know, you have the 30th of January looming. You know that. Yeah? And if we knocked out the filibuster, it would be just a simple approval. But you have some Republicans, no, they're unable to explain why. You know, if you ask them why, they're unable to explain. They cannot win the debate. But they should knock out the filibuster. And frankly, they should get rid of the blue slips too, yeah.
Mr. President, the Democrats won Miami where you won the election 1 year ago. Do you think it's because of Hispanic media like NUMB that are publishing fake news about the ICE operations? How do you plan to win back those votes for midterms?
Yeah, well, I won that whole election. And, you know, it's interesting. When I'm not running, we don't do as well. And I'm going to try and get that changed for the midterms. But we did have a big win in Tennessee, as you know. Matt Van Epps had a big win in Tennessee against a very strong candidate, attractive candidate, who a lot of people thought would do very well. And Matt won by a lot. And I won Tennessee by a real lot. You know, we had a great election. We won every single swing state. We won the popular vote. We won everything. And there's a thing that they have now, districts, which is a big deal. I think in a way it's the most important stat from the standpoint of, you know, looking at numbers accurately. So out of thousands of districts, I won 2,750 versus 525. Think of that, 2,750 versus 525. It was great. That's why the map, when you see a map of the election, it's all red, other than two little narrow lines on the other side. Please.
Jimmy Lai was convicted today in Hong Kong. Do you have a reaction to that?
I feel so badly. I spoke to President Xi about it, and I asked to consider his release. He's not well. He's an older man, and he's not well. So I did put that request out. We'll see what happens. Okay? Yeah, please, Katie.
Question about Ukraine. Now that the meetings in Berlin have wrapped up with Zelensky, is there a timetable for going to Moscow? Is a delegation going?
Well, I think that the delegation is largely there right now, actually. They're in Europe. And they met with those people that I called out before, the various countries, plus some others. They want to see it end, Katie. They want to see it end. They all. I want to see it end. They want to see it end. I actually think that President Putin wants to see it end. You know, I've had good talks. We've had good talks with Russia. And I think they'd like to get back to a more normal way of life.
Follow up there. An Article 5-like deal seems to be emerging without NATO membership for Ukraine. If such a security guarantee is offered, what incentive is there for Ukraine to give any sort of territory?
Well, look, you have, well, they've already lost the territory, to be honest. I mean, the territory is lost. But in terms of security guarantee, we're working with Europe on it. Europe would be a big part of that. And we're working on the security guarantee so the war doesn't start up again. We don't want to have a war start up again. You know, as I said, with Thailand and Cambodia, two people I get along with great. And I dealt with them, and I called them, and I said, look, fellas, you got to relax, you got to take it easy. They lost, you know, they started the war again, and I got it ended. And things like that are going to happen, war. There's nothing pretty about war, nothing good, and there's nothing you can do to predict what's going to happen. But I think we've made a lot of progress with respect to Russia and Ukraine, I hope. You know, last month, it was close to 27,000 soldiers were killed, mostly soldiers, but 27,000 people, but mostly soldiers were killed last month in Russia versus Ukraine.
Time limit on security guarantees?
Well, there's no time limit. The time limit is whenever we get it done. And we're going to try to get it done.
Bro, get the
we're
fuck out
making
my face,
progress. It's
antivirus.
more difficult than anybody could have thought. I would have said that half of the wars that I got settled, some were going for over 30 years. That half of them should have been more difficult, and they actually haven't been.
Okay.
There's a lot of dislike between the two leaders, you know, and so it probably makes it a little bit tough.
He's just on his bullshit arc, bro. He's just on his bullshit arc.
Directly to Putin? Have you recently spoken directly to Putin?
Yeah, I have.
On Syria, Mr. President, on the U.S. troops killed in Syria over the weekend, why do we have troops in Syria?
Because we're trying to make sure that there's going to be and remain peace in the Middle East, and Syria is a big part of it. The new leader is a strong person, and that's what you need. This is a rough part of the world, and it's been amazing what's taken place in Syria. We got rid of Assad, we got rid of other people that were really bad people and that were in the way of peace in the Middle East. You know, we have legitimate peace in the Middle East, first time in 3,000 years. And we have 59 countries backing it. And we'll see what happens with Hamas, we'll see what happens with Hezbollah. But regardless, I mean, we have countries that want to go in and clean that out if we want them to do it. But they said, in the case of Hamas, they said that they're going to disarm, and we're going to find out whether or not that's true. Hezbollah in Lebanon has been a problem. We'll see what happens there. But there is legitimate, large-scale peace in the Middle East. And if there weren't, we wouldn't have been able to make all of those deals that we've made with the various countries. They would have never been able to do that. If, for instance, if Iran, if we didn't, with that B-2 bomber right there on the desk, if we didn't, of which we just ordered a lot more of the newer version. Totally stealth. They could not see it. They knew it was coming. They had no idea where it was. It was pretty amazing, actually. Every bomb hit its mark perfectly, despite CNN trying to say differently. They didn't know. They just, hoped. They hoped that we didn't, but turned out that they did. Atomic Energy Commission confirmed it. So did Iran confirm it. They got knocked to hell. But if we didn't knock out their nuclear capability, we would have never had peace in the Middle East, because you would have had a dark cloud hanging over Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and all the other countries, and they would have never, ever been able to sign an agreement. Yeah, please.
How soon do you expect that international stabilization force to be up and running in Gaza?
I think that it's, in a form, it's already running. In a very strong form, it's already running. But it'll get stronger and stronger, and more countries are coming into it. They're already in. But they'll send any number of troops that I ask them to send.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Trump is cooking my brain with the amount of fucking non-factual bullshit he's spouting, bro. Holy, bro. These people call themselves fucking journalists and they'll fucking fact check this motherfucker. Okay.
They want to see peace. We have more than 59 countries. We have many countries that aren't even in the Middle East, but they're fairly close to the Middle East. They want to be involved. So it's been pretty amazing.
Mr. President, this week a man named Keone Rodriguez is going to federal prison for creating crypto privacy software. The case was started under the Biden administration, but your DOJ kept it going and secured the conviction. A lot of people in crypto are saying that this man should be pardoned. Are you familiar with the case at all, or would you be interested
I've
in
heard
looking
about
at
it. I'll look at it. Why, you think he should be pardoned? Sounds like it. Sounds like, based on your question.
Many people in the
Rodriguez, we'll look at that, Pam. Okay, let's take a look at it. You'll have to tell me. I don't know anything about it, but we'll take a look.
On Friday?
Yeah, please.
Mr. President, market analysts are calling for a Santa rally, typically at 5 trading days going to Christmas, in the first 2 trading days of January. That's a sign of market optimism. Do you anticipate, along with the historical low gas prices, that continuing into the first quarter?
Well, we've had the greatest stock market in history, Brian. We have a stock market that's gone up 52 times to new highs during a 10-month period, my 10 months. My first 10 months, we set a record. 52 days, we had the highest stock market in history, including a day ago. And I didn't look today. Maybe it's up today, I don't know. But we had 52 altogether, and there's never been anything like it. And the reason are the tariffs have brought vast amounts of wealth into our country. That countries that have taken our car companies, those car companies are all coming back. The AI is coming at levels that nobody's ever seen before. That's going to be a massive industry. Without the tariffs, we wouldn't have that.
And you guys will make fucking bans
chips
on AI.
Are coming in. Chip companies are coming in from Taiwan and other places, but mostly from Taiwan, which has almost 100% of the market. And we're now making chips, and we're not paying anything. It's not the CHIPS Act where they give billions of dollars to companies and then they just take the money and they run. That was under Biden. The fact that I set tariffs up, and that if they don't make their chips here, they have to pay a big tariff. In order to send them into the U.S., they have to be here. You know, tariffs really work, in my opinion, almost only in the United States. They've been used against us successfully because we had presidents that had no clue. But tariffs really work. We have taken in hundreds of billions of dollars with tariffs, and more importantly, we've taken in countries and companies where, and even countries have sent their car-making people into the United States in order to avoid paying tariffs. And they'll build a plant and they'll hire our people to make the cars. But we now have, as you know, Toyota just approved $10 billion in manufacturing plants in the United States using our people. Without tariffs, none of that would have happened. Tariffs have given us great national security.
No, they haven't.
There's nothing like what's happened in the last 10 months. Tariffs have given us tremendous national security and tremendous wealth. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Me when I lie? Dude, me when I lie so hard? Bro, I don't like... Dude, watching this shit is fucking so mind-numbing and terrible. Like, dude, throw me the platform called Truth Social where he spreads lies. I'm more fashion than that. Like, honestly, bro. Like, come on, bro. These guys are fucking president, bro. Dude, fucking America, home of the free and retarded, apparently. Because, like, what? Just letting this guy see the fucking hot. Dude, it makes our whole, like, it makes, okay, I forgot, what was it, Oklahoma? Was it fucking Oklahoma school where they had,
What's going on with, termites? Trying to lock this thing down. Take them out. We ain't got all day.
Okay, yeah, the Oklahoma University or whatever, where the fucking girl, turned in her essay or report on a fucking story about like little kids and fucking whatever, and then she just wrote about fucking God and the Bible and cited things. That's literally like fucking I don't even know where I was gonna go with this. I guess just Trump at this point. No. That's what it's like to be an American citizen. Like, it's to be the other fucking fellow classmates of the fucking girl who wrote that shitty ass essay, and then the school fucking defended her. Or got the teacher on leave because her mother's a fucking shitty ass Republican lawyer or fucking whatever. Like, you cannot make this shit up, bro. She did not make a good sound fucking essay, and her fucking just ruining this shit for everything, for everyone else, bro. Like, these guys are ruining institutions, fucking ruining our fucking image, bro. We're the biggest country, #1. No one's laughing at it. Everyone's laughing at us, bro. Every time we mention it, everyone's laughing at us. We're so piss poor in our fucking leadership that we have you. The fuck? Like, this guy does not work. Or whatever. Let me go back to one more fucking video, but bro, this guy sucks. Wait, you know what? Trump and Israel.
Damn necromites are reinforcing the Netrocell. Your hands are tied until you knock them out. The enemy's out. Okay. What else is there? Bruh. What the fuck is this guy on about, bro? Wait, there's a national emergency? Dude, but it shows he's not live. Whatever.
This is very exciting. This was one of the greatest moments in the history of U.S. sports. I wouldn't say maybe for other countries they weren't so thrilled. Sports, and we have a very exciting team of champions standing behind me. Mr. Attorney, could you read what we're doing right now?
Yes, sir.
Get it done.
This is H.R. 452, the Miracle on Ice bill. The United States Congress has authorized 3 medals to be struck commemorating the historic victory of the United States men's hockey team in 1980 at the Women's Classic Olympics, where they obviously defeated the Russians in the Soviet Union, in the famous Miracle on Ice hockey game. This will serve as a fitting commemoration of that incredible achievement, and will hopefully be a lasting memorial of that achievement going forward.
This was an amazing event. Pretty big, I mean, I don't know, there's some other upsets in the world. I haven't noticed them getting any reviews. That's great. We don't use auto pens here. It's a great achievement. Another job. There you go, my of these people are too young to read.
That's the last one I'm gonna do, just because, bro, this guy's so mind-melting, bro. It's so mind-melting to even listen to him. Oh, it hurts. It hurts, Papa. I don't want no more. It's too damn bad. That's too damn bad, dude. It just fucking, it kills me from grinding, doing these weeklies. It kills me. Fucking Eye of Farmer. Trying to put these things out. Now I'm chilling. I'm gonna get off, bro. And I'm gonna do something else. Oh, I forgot to stop this. Bonk. Plus like another like 30 minutes on top of that, so like almost 4 hours. And that's my dailies done. Nope. Amazing. Alrighty. With that, I'll catch y'all later.